Oh. Just as I was about to go live, it was saying error. Try again. The last time I did that, I lost everything. I had to start a completely new life. So, hi Lily, hi Lana, hi Joanna, and hi Lisa. Hope you're all right. Lisa's lurking. Lisa. That's got a nice little ring to it. Oh, this is looking a little bit scruffy. How's everyone doing? It's been I've had dog issues. So if you remember when Storm had that problem, I'll try not to move around much because I've turned the right. Is this working? Yeah. I just need to make sure that I don't do much moving around. The frame rate isn't great, and that rhymes. So when Storm, when I thought that she'd had that back injury, when she was stuck on the stairs and she wouldn't move, and she didn't move because she couldn't move. And I was thinking, I've got a dog. I'm gonna have to care for even more, a crippled dog. But then she made a full recovery, like that, mad. So yesterday she was barking to go out, and so I opened the back door. She jumped upon the wall. And I wonder if the frame rate will just ease up. Bear with me, guys, because this is doing my head in way more than it's doing yours in. If I turn this light off, let's see if that makes any difference, because it's picking up less movement. It's an old laptop, and it's got a 4K webcam. So it's a lot for it to process. So please bear with me. I'm not like some of these YouTubers out there that have got a screen there, set up like the fucking Starship Enterprise. It's not like that. It's very, very basic, but it's hopefully going to be good enough. Just hang in there. So I let her out of the door. She jumped upon to that. If anyone's seen my garden, there's like a raised wall bit on the left-hand side. And she jumped upon there with what looked like extreme urgency. And she moved along. She squatted. And just this jet of bloody mess. What looked like blood. Came just jetting out of her arse, and it was quite an alarming thing to see. Yeah, I'm glad that you can at least hear me, Joanna. Hi Ray, you all right, lass? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, so I ended up panicking, and then I contacted the vets. This is why I've got headphones on, so it blocks out a lot of her drinking, because I've had to put electrolytes into her water, prescribed by the vet, because of the amount of fluid she was losing out of her arse. Which was very, very stressful, but she's getting back to her normal self now. But I had all sorts of things going. I made the mistake of Googling her symptoms, and not good, So basically, she's just had like the mother of all shits. She had the shit. She was vomiting, but just vomiting like bile. And then every time she went for a wee, there was a jet of this bloody brownie bloody. I hope none of you are eating your dinner. Spag bol or a curry. I can just picture you like that. Oh, I'll eat that later. So yeah, it was inconclusive. They couldn't really. They could tell me that it wasn't this or that, and we suspected it might have been this or that. It's not any of those either. So I don't like inconclusive. You know, I like to know what's what, the same as you guys do. You know, it's how we are. John Bush channel had a good video recently. Good ideas. John Bush. Has he got a sister called Hairy? Bear with me. I'm just going to get a pen and some paper so I can write some of this stuff down. Won't take me a second. I know where it is. What's his name? John Bush. Now, one of you guys sent me something. I've got an X account now. Give me a bit of time and I'll upload the X account into the description box along with the Rumble account. I've not been using the Rumble account very much. I did say that I'll try and post on there daily, but it's just been a bit, yeah, just bear with me. But it'd be nice because if this channel gets shut down and as we move along and their tolerance for people like me becomes shorter and shorter, then there's a chance that they could take this channel down, you know. So it'd be nice if we can stay connected in other ways, you know. What do you reckon to my t-shirt? So that's Luke Skywalker, and that is Darth Vader sparring instead of lightsabers, you know. As soon as I saw it, I thought, that's mine. I'm having that. Yeah, so I've been sent some information. I hope Lana doesn't mind me saying that Lana sent me this information. It's a PDF. I'm trying to get it sent to me via email instead of X so that I can copy it and then paste it into the community tab. And it might alarm some of you guys, and it might put quite a lot of pieces of the puzzle together for some of you. Either way, it's very interesting. I've not had a chance to kind of go through it all because there's quite a bit there, but it's worth looking into. And it's pretty much about the Great Replacement and their intentions, the countries that are going to be affected. Very, very, very eye-opening. So as soon as I could actually do that now whilst I'm talking to you guys, and then it'll go into the community tab for you to peruse at your own leisure, because it's shit we need to know. It's important stuff. The more we know, the more prepared we can be, you know. Right. Hold your horses. You'll thank me for it. And I'll put it into the community tab. Just bear with me. It won't take me long. And it's just titled, "Please read this." You'll have to download it as a PDF. If it appears as a link, let me just check to make sure it's appeared as a link. It has, right? So it's on there now. It's in the community section, ready for you to look at your own leisure. And I do think you'll find it extremely interesting. I've bought a bottle of wine on a Wednesday. I never do that, but I'm kind of celebrating the fact that my dog's not dying. You know, if ever there was a reason to celebrate, that's it. So cheers. Now I've been in touch with a few. Oh God, is it really jerky? Is it so jerky for you guys? I do apologise. Yeah, I've been in touch with 3 eBay sellers. I'm waiting for one of them to get back to me. There's about 10 eBay sellers that are selling this particular product. These were the 3 cheapest ones because they were all under a certain price. And I just did one big message to one of them, and then I copied the whole message and then pasted it onto another seller and then onto another seller. So one of them is going to get back to me, and that'll hopefully knock some more money off some more stuff for you, because freeze-dried peanut butter is a fantastic source of protein. You know, good for you. It's good stuff, and it's all natural ingredients. Natural palm oil, natural arsenic, natural skin cells. No, it's all good stuff. In fact, as we get going, you know, I could quickly run upstairs and just bring a tub down so I can show you it. Just remember, I never make any money. I don't say to any of these sellers, I can make you loads of money if you send me some stuff for free, because that'll put people off. You know, it has to be no strings. It has to be made so that it's clear to them that they are going to benefit as a company, as a business. They're going to benefit by knocking 10% off their product for you. You know, so I've got to make it sound like it's really beneficial, because it is beneficial for them, beneficial for us. And I've got 2 tubs of the stuff upstairs. I've never tried it, so I can't turn around and say it's fucking gorgeous, because I don't know if it is, you know. But it's still something that's definitely a great addition to your prepper pantry, 100%. So leave it with me. And please don't forget to get stuff like this in, right? Your egg powder, you know, for your protein, and all of the other good, amazing stuff that's in eggs. I bought a kilo from the cheaper of the two. The cheaper of the 2 sellers, because the other one was about a pound cheaper. About a pound cheaper. So I bought a kilo of this. Now this kilo is going to be vac packed into 20 small vac packs, vacuum sealed, dated and put away. The best before date on that egg powder is December 2027, you know, and I reckon you can get at least another year out of that if you can keep it sealed and in the dark, you know, somewhere cool, dark, and away from the air. You know, it's definitely a decent investment. In fact, I'd like to know if you guys have actually bought any. You know, there's no rush, and there's no, you know, it's not, you don't have to. It's just I do believe that the way that eggs are going and what they're doing to chickens, you know, destroy the chickens, you destroy the egg. Which one came first? None, because they're all dead. That's probably the shittest joke you've ever heard. So yeah, on top of that egg powder and freeze-dried peanut butter, please don't forget stuff like this. Yeah. and I've cleaned my local shop out of these. I was going in every day because I know the importance of these. Really, really important, because not only is it an instant energy boost, especially for Snickers. I've got a few other things as well. So I've got Kit Kats. I'd say 90% of my morale boosters, because that's what they are. Primarily, they are morale boosters, because morale boosters are going to be so important. You know, if the shit's hitting the fan, you know, and all you're hearing is bad shit going on, and there's maybe a bit of chaos out in the streets, we just don't know, you know. If you can just be safe in your home, you've come up with some decent ideas regarding defense and how to deal with anyone trying to get into your house, which is unlikely. It's unlikely, you know. You can just be sat there munching away on a toffee crisp and thinking, fuck the world, you know, I'm all right, until it's all calmed down a little bit. But Snickers is number one. And they've been selling them in a multi-pack, pack of 3 for £1.35 or something like that. So I've just been vat packing. I've got so many fucking Snickers bars now. I've got more Snickers bars than Snickers. Yeah, so she is better. Hey up, Paul, you all right, matey? Good to see you. I'm 4x4 fella. Or is it Ben? Yeah, nice to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's a relief. It's a relief. They're my babies. You know how much I love these. They're part of me, and I'm part of them. And yeah, I've got to do whatever it takes. And it cost me 50 quid, just under 50 quid in taxes to get to the vet and back. You know, but someone's offered me a car. It's stayed in the family since it was bought, and it's got 46,000 miles on the clock. But it's a little Volkswagen Polo Fox. You know, you look at it and you don't think, now that's a car I want to own. I want to be seen driving down the road with your seat back and your arm on the window like that, just driving like that, listening to some NWA coming straight out of Compton, and your little Volkswagen Polo Fox. Someone called it a roller skate, because you need 2 of them really, one for each foot, because they're that small. But it could be a, you know, it's cheap on tax, cheap on insurance. It's MOT'd, you know, it's good to go. Low mileage and German made. So you'll have all heard about all the shit that's happened in Germany. Oh, that's nice. That, you know, when you don't drink if you drink every night, you end up getting so used to it, you don't really appreciate it anymore. You're just drinking it for the sake of drinking it. You're just getting pissed for the sake of getting pissed, and it will catch up with you, and it will fuck you up. I'm telling you, you've got to try and get as fit and as healthy as you possibly can, both like this and in here. So this was on special, but it's only oh fuck me, 14.5%. This will make a good yeah, clean shit with this, you know. In fact, I should maybe just keep my cigarette away from it in case it's. Can you imagine if my face caught fire, my beard? Can you imagine that live? Now there's an idea for further down the road, because I've been thinking about cutting it down, but that'd be, yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not I do stupid shit for clicks. Twat, you know. I don't do anything for clicks, as you know. You know, I never have ever put clickbaity titles to any of my videos or anything like that. It's a proper organic channel. It's always been that way. No editing, you know, no nothing, just bog standard organic. And as a result of that, we've ended up with organic people, you know, perfect community. Although this is open to anyone, can jump in from anywhere, you know. So just keep your eyes open, Lana, and anyone else for any, you know, just keep that twatometer of yours well calibrated. Excuse me. So I have got manners as well, and I don't think I was taught manners. I think they're just manners do maketh the man. They do, and they don't cost anything. I'll have a Bailey's coffee with you. I think that's 17%. Not by the time you've made a coffee out of it, Lisa. You know, that'd be like a thimble of Bailey's. Yeah, look out for the lurkers, because I know that we do get lurkers. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if a certain person was maybe, you know, kind of checking every now and then to see if there's a live stream, because that person ended up going through one of your guys' channels to carry on kicking off, which is unacceptable. Leslie Jeepster. Hello, Leslie. You all right? Not sure, but survival preppers reckon freeze-dried eggs last 25 years. Wow. Now, that wouldn't surprise me, because freeze-dried stuff is meant to last for up to 25 years. I'm going to have to do some looking into that, because I don't know anyone that's had freeze-dried eggs for 25 years. You know? So just taking someone's word for it. I hope that's the case, because I've got a shitload of the stuff backpacked away in tubs dotted around all over the place, but I don't know which tubs they're in. So that'd be amazing. And like I said, it's not the most enjoyable experience making this stuff up. You have to maybe add a little bit of cheese to it, or throw it into something just to get that protein in you. It's not the same as fresh eggs, but I think there's going to become a point where fresh eggs is just going to be so unbelievably expensive, you know, a tenner for 6 or whatever, because it's just so they're what going around wiping out the chickens, saying that they've all got bird flu, which is an absolute load of bollocks. Absolute load of bollocks. I don't believe any of that, any of it. They keep throwing, right, it's monkeypox. Oh shit, that's not worked. It's this pox. Oh, that's not worked. Have you noticed what happened to monkeypox? I thought that was going to destroy the world. What happened to that other one that was if you jumbled the letters around, it said moronic. What happened to that? Nothing. Fuck all, because people are waking up. They're dying on their feet. Which is in some regards is a great thing. It's a fantastic thing, knowing that these twats are tripping over themselves to try and get a grip, you know. But on the flip side, it makes them more dangerous, because they get more desperate. The more desperate they get, the more dangerous they get. So you've got to just take that into account. But yeah, bird flu, you know, what a load of bollocks! What an absolute load of fucking bollocks! You know, I don't doubt for 1 second that this gain of function malarkey has happened. I don't doubt that, you know, but I don't think that they're going to release something so unbelievably deadly that it's going to risk harming all of the twats that they've got working for them. You know, they need them. They need these useful idiots like Rachel Reeves. See you next Tuesday. But it would be nice. It would be nice if these powdered eggs lasted for 25 years. What an amazing investment that would be. You know? I mean, we are, to some degree, taking their word for it that they are organic. But, I mean, God knows how many eggs it must take to make a kilo of freeze-dried, because you're taking all the moisture out of it. The moisture is the heaviest part of the egg. So imagine how many eggs have gone into making a kilo of organic egg powder, whole egg powder. So you get the benefit of the white and the yolk. Now I've stopped because I still use the powdered eggs just for prepping to be put away. So I still use fresh eggs every day. I have them every day because they're that important. They're that good for you. But I've stopped putting the eggshells into my composter bucket now, and I'm saving them up because I was taking them as a supplement at one point until I ended up with 3 composters. 3 composters are hungry, you know. You got to keep putting shit in there. I need to look into those crazy zebra worms or stripy worms or tiger worms or whatever they're called. Let me know in the chat if you remember what they're called. But they've got an insatiable appetite, so they break down all the stuff that's in your composter really, really quick, especially if you've got a composter that, you know, that can produce worm juice. Remember that? Worm juice. Dark chocolate, Last Sages. Yeah, but someone was telling me about dark chocolate as well. It depends on where you get it from, Ben, because Red Wiggles is that your pet name? I'm not going to go there. Sorry, it's too early to go blue. Yeah, someone was telling me that there was they found some dodgy stuff that was in Lidl or Aldi's dark chocolate range, you know, and I used to get a lot of dark chocolate from them. But dark chocolate, good quality organic dark chocolate, you know, when you see dark chocolate and you see a little label saying we're part of the Rainforest Alliance, or this has been sustainably harvested, or whatever bollocks they keep putting on our packaging to make it sound like we're doing the right thing. It's all fucking bollocks, you know. It doesn't tell you about all the shit that they're putting in there. On top of the fact that they're in the EU, they're making it legal for them to be putting up to, what was it, 7%? Just bear with me a sec, because this is important information that you should know, you know. And there'll be people out there saying, well, we're not part of the EU. Are we not? When did we leave? Let me know. Drop it in the chat. So yeah. I wonder if I did I save it? Did I screen save it? Screenshot it. I've got to say screenshot, not screen save. You know, you got to be down with the kids, innit? No, I didn't save it. But I think it's something like 7%. 7% powdered mealworms is allowed to go into your food. Now, even if it is just the EU, right? So let's just say for argument's sake that it's just the EU and not the UK, right? If you take a good walk around Lidl or Aldi, the vast majority of the stuff that's being sold is foreign. You know, it's all EU produce. It's all EU. They're all EU products. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You know, there's not that many well-known brands in there. Most of the stuff that you see in Aldi and Lidl is, if you look on it, you know, some of it I can't even read, so I put it back because I like to know what it is I'm eating. You know, who doesn't want to know what they're putting in their mouth? Oh. So I've got a history of keeping reptiles, and I used to feed them. You know, well, depending on what I had, I used to feed them mealworms, live mealworms, and they're not for me. They're not for me. I'm all right. I'll abstain on that starter. I'll go straight for dessert if you don't mind. Bill, please. Taxi. Gone. And they won't even have to put it on the. They won't even have to put it on the ingredients. And if they do, it'll be off the pressure of the people finding out. So then they have to do it just to keep people happy. But even then, they'll put it down as something. It'll be E904. You know, you think, oh, another E number. How bad can it be? Fuck it. I'm in a rush. Put it in your trolley, pay for it, take it home, eat it without looking it up. And it'll be mealworm, something like that. I mean, the whole Bovea thing. We only found out about that a few months ago. Yet Danone, they started using that in 2018. And they make Cow and Gate, which is baby formula. So anyone that's been kind of weeding their child off breast milk and onto formula because they're just sick and tired of sore nipples and, you know, all of the other, you know, as blokes, we haven't got a clue what women go through, you know. We can take it in turns getting up for the baby, to feed the baby, but breast milk is breast milk. You know, you can't beat it. That's what it's there for. So to those mothers who have breastfed their children right the way up until the age of 1 or whatever, or further, I tip my hat to you. You know, getting up every 3 hours initially to feed your child with breast milk, you know, and all the good stuff that's in there. So when they wean their child off and then onto formula, Cow and Gate have been putting Bovea in their baby formula from 2018. I can't stand here and say that they're still doing it now, but I can't say that they're not either. So either way, it's fucking disgusting. Right. So red wigglers. Right. So red wiggles or red wigglers, either one. Are you off to bed, Ray? That's a nice little crescent moon. Bit yellow. You can see loads of planets out there at the moment. I can't remember the name of these worms, but you have to send off for them. You know, I mean, you can send off for natural pesticides, which come in the form of a box that gets posted to your door, full of ladybirds, and you just empty the box around the affected area on whatever fruit tree or vegetables or whatever it is that you're having a problem with. Just tip them out. They don't all survive the journey. It's a bit inhumane, but most of them do because they're carnivores. If they get hungry, they start to eat each other. That's what they do. But they're carnivores. So you just tip out these ladybirds around your your lady garden. Oh, that's a horrible mental image. Ugh. Around your fruit, around your veg, and they climb up and they just eat all of the aphids and any black fly or green fly or anything like that. It just fucks them all up, and it's all natural. And you'll be doing your garden a favor, because all of our insects need as much help as they can get right now. You know, we all know this. You know, the amount of times I've come back from a drive somewhere or gone on a camping trip or whatever, and or I've gone to a camping trip and the car's been through a car wash. It's gleaming, you know. It's like a fucking mirror. By the time you get to your location, the whole of the front of all your headlights, all your grill, part of your bonnet, just splattered bugs, just covered, caked in it, you know. Now you don't see any of that. And it's not good. It's not good. Yes, insects in your bush, Lisa Sheridan. It can be something that you'll need to look into, especially if they look like that and they move to the side. Oh, Cancerian goes into the pub. Barman says, "No, we're not serving you." Why? You keep coming in here, giving it all that. Oh dear. So right. So cricket equals Akita domesticus. Yeah, they make it sound great, don't they? Mealworms, Tenebrio molita, cockroaches. I mean, we're not designed to be eating these, by the way. If there's one very, very simple, easy way of looking at this. So please have a look at Lana's comment there in the chat, and try and let it kind of, you know, brand itself on your brain for when you're looking at stuff. And this stuff's powdered down, so they'll be chucking that in there to save money on well, not to save money, we know why they're doing it, but they can chuck that sort of stuff into your flour. So instead of buying shop bought bread, you're buying flour, because you don't want to buy shop bought bread anymore, because you've seen the fact that bread only needs 4, maybe 5 ingredients to make it a bit posh, you know. That's it, including water. Yet it's got a list that you can write on a bog roll. What the fuck's that all about? So that they'll substitute some of that flour with powdered insect, and you'd be none the wiser. The human body is not designed right. So imagine you're Ray Mears, right? And you're out, and again, a lot of what he said is a load of bollocks. Drinking your own urine, if you're dehydrated, don't ever do that, because you'll get 5 times more dehydrated, 5 times thirstier from drinking your own urine. And then if you continue to keep drinking it, you're making your body more and more toxic. All you're doing is quenching your thirst and fucking yourself up at the same time. But yeah, say you're Ray Mears, right? And you're in somewhere, but no, not Ray. No, Ray Mears is the good guy. Who's the twat? Who's the twat that's had like loads of what's his name? I've got his book at the caravan that I've never read because I don't like him. Someone bought it me because they thought, Terry's a pepper. Terry, I love this book. I'll get him for Christmas because I can't think of anything else. because I've got no creativity. And that was from someone that has no creativity, and it's probably one that I wanted to go on holiday. One of them. What's his Bear Grylls? Thanks, Paul. Yeah, so your Bear Grylls, because I want to pick someone that's a twat anyway, right? Ray Mears, I quite like Ray Mears. You know what I mean? He's more on my level. And if you you're stuck in the Australian outback and you know how to find witchetty grubs, then yeah, get one down you. They're not all bad for you, but the vast majority are, because we're not designed to eat insects. It's a completely different line off the tree of life that we're not cut out for. They're not made for us. Witchetty grubs, apparently they taste like scrambled egg. If you like your scrambled eggs, I like mine, so it's like rubber. I like everything cooked a little bit past it what it's meant to be cooked, including my steaks. You'll never see any blood coming out of my steak, but I can cook you a perfect steak. Tell me how you like it and I'll cook it for you, and it will be exactly how you like it. I just don't have it myself like that. So a witchetty grub, yeah, you'll probably be okay with that. There is nutrition in there, definitely protein in there. Again, if you just kept on eating them, I don't know. I don't know anyone that's done it, but I think they're all right. But things like cockroaches and crickets and mealworms and stuff like that, they're not good for us. If they were good for us, then they wouldn't be putting it in our food covertly, would they? Because they're cunts. I'm sorry about using that word, but that's the only way I can describe these bastards. So, yeah, just look out for stuff like that. Look out for that, or an E number that you don't recognise. I mean, I post in the community section, I posted a big, massive list of all of the most dangerous E numbers. If anyone wants me to repost that, I'll do it, and then maybe print it off and just take it shopping with you. These are the fucking hoops that we're having to jump through now just to go and get some shopping done. But we do it because we give a shit and we want to survive. We're survivalists. What's the difference between a survivalist and a prepper? I think my answer that was a genuine question, but I'm just thinking about the whole sliding scale of preparedness. It's the same as the whole sliding scale of being awake. You've got some preppers out there. Yeah, well, if the shit hits the fan, I'm telling you now, I can last for at least 3 days. 3 days and 3 hours if I pushed it. Whew. That's not a prepper. That's someone that's just got shit in that they're just not used up because they've never fancied it. They bought it when they were pissed. They've got a cupboard full of food that they've not used up, that's approaching its out of date or best before date, because they bought it when they were pissed and hungry. So it's still there, and that's why they've got 3 days worth of food. But you see, I've warned one of my neighbours he's a bit clued up, I don't really want to kind of talk to him too much about too much, because I don't want him knowing too much about me. Because if he knew, then, when the cookie crumbles, he's going to be knocking on my door. He'll knock on my door anyway when the shit hits the fan. But it's down to timing and me working out timing as to whether or not or when he will be useful, to the point where he's got a family, I'm not prepping for someone else's fucking family. That's a lot of food. there are a lot of really, really, really beautiful, lovely, kind-hearted, empathetic people out there that are prepping. People that have got a conscience, and that conscience is going to be tested, because it could get to the point, it is quite likely you're going to get to the point where you're thinking, and again, this is not long term, you know, you've got to try and get through at least the next 2 years. You've got to try and figure out ways of trying to get by for the next 2 years without being a slave to the system. And that's a challenge, you know. You see, I can imagine that there are some people that would think, well, you're lucky, Terry. You don't have a mortgage. You're lucky, Terry. Do you know the reason why I've not got a mortgage? Is that lucky? So there's a lot to take into account. I keep being drawn to Lisa Sheridan's insects in my bush. You know, I'm sorry, but it's just there. So we need more people to comment, just so that it can go up, because I keep looking at that. You can get some shampoo for that, but generally it's just because you might be a bit of a dirty bitch, but I know you're not. Oh, we've got a urine problem here. My urine. Oh no, it's not a problem. My urine probably tastes no different to cheap white wine. Well, let us know. Let us know, Joanna, if you disappear out of the chat for a little while, and you come back, and you put that little vomit emoji there, then we know that you found out the hard way. So just don't drink your own piss. If you've got a dry mouth, and urine does have a multitude of uses, and in a shit hits the fan scenario, I do urge you to start looking into, say, just type in top 10 uses for human urine. But then you've got to take into account any medication that you're taking. There are a few things that you should take into account, but human urine or any other animal's urine is useful. It's useful. So is shit. You know, this is the kind of, this sounds weird, and I know because I can hear myself saying it, right? But I'm quite looking forward to going back to a world where nothing's wasted, nothing, because that will be balance. We can balance out with the world. I saw a video with an Indian fella. He had a few cows and a few pigs, loads of chickens and stuff at his own well, and he was able to turn his cow shit and his pig shit into methane using a very, very crude system, very, very basic, very simple, to capture the methane from this animal shit. And so inside, he's got his missus, because he was doing all the graft. We all take on roles. I'm not stereotyping women as being slaving over a stove or anything. That's not what I'm doing here. we all have our little roles, and traditionally that's the way it was always been, and it fucking worked, you know, until feminism came along, until globalism came along and started fucking shit up and dividing people and dividing each other, each sex, and all that bollocks, you know. Sometimes some things just work. They just work. The man goes out to work, grafts, comes home to his beautiful, his lovely wife, who's been looking after the kids and getting dinner and looking after the house. And that's not meant to sound like a sexist. Just I'm not like that, you know. It worked, and everyone was happier back then. I've lost my train of thought now. It'll come back. It's like Party and her crab. Patty and I remember Patty Cake. Yeah, she was an unusual one. Diatribe is the word. Diatribe. Elaborate for me, Joanna. So all I'm saying is that setup worked, and so going back to this Indian family, right? They were able to capture the methane, right? It's not. We all know it's not a big fucking issue. You know, the amount of methane that's going up into the atmosphere is not an issue. It's not a problem. Fuck YouTube, fuck Google, and fuck the government. You know, they're all full of shit, and we know it. So the whole reducing methane through this Bovea thing is just there to poison us, and we know that, right? So working out a system that required no electricity, just a little bit of building, a little bit of careful building of kind of this and that, and being able to sort of shovel the shit in there, maybe add a little bit of water to it to liquefy it a bit, just makes the methane a bit easier to capture. And she's inside cooking dinner off the gas that's come off the shit from the cows that she's just been milking, or he's just been milking. You know, I don't know why you know how milking works, you know. Looks like I'm trying to satisfy two blokes. Oh no, I didn't need to go there. You see, I can't edit. Anyway, so it was a very, very basic, very, very simple system. So they were completely and totally self-sufficient with fuel. I mean, they could have thrown solar panels in there because it was quite, I mean, it's India. Most of it's, a big chunk of it's in the equator or thereabouts. So plenty of sun as well. They could have thrown solar into the mix. They could have thrown wind generation in there to create lighting with batteries at night. But even batteries have got a lifespan. So there are so many ways that we can live without fucking the planet up, but without being oppressed by a government and a new world order wannabe bunch of absolute fucking Looney Tunes. Absolute loons, completely out of touch with reality. These people are fucked in the head. So look at what's his name. You know that I've got a problem with names sometimes, especially when I need them to come to the forefront of my mind. It lets me down. It's always let me down. What's his name? Hello, you beautiful, gorgeous, awake and beautiful people. La 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 la. Give me your money. What's his name? I love men who are strong providers. Guess I am old-fashioned. It's not old-fashioned. It's lovely. It's lovely. We will protect you with our lives, right? And in return, you protect the kids, because the kids are going to be protected because you're being protected whilst we're out doing whatever we need to do. You know, we used to be able to get by on one wage, and it worked. It's called the nuclear family, you know, and it worked. I'm very big on if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. But these people on the Nantes, it's the Nantes, it's revolution. He's there, sat there stroking his cat. What a fucked up man that guy is. In my eyes, they had the same chance and time to sort themselves out as we did. Hungry people are dangerous people. Always remember that. Oh, I'm well aware of that, Ben, and I'm prepared for that. You know, and this is why I can't push forward enough. Just to have something in each room. You know, just be prepared. Keep your doors locked. We don't live in those days anymore. I remember when we used to be able to leave our doors wide open. There were no locks on any cars. You couldn't steal the cars. Well, you could, but nobody did. That was the kind of world we lived in. It's not like that now, but it could go back to that. It could. It is possible, you know. But yeah, I'm not going to feed someone else's entire family. Not when I've said to them. I've already said to him, stock up on food, mate. Oh, we've always got plenty in. As soon as he said that, alarm bells. What's your version of plenty, mate? A week? You've got a family. It's not my job to feed your family. It's your fucking job to feed your family. But he's got some skills that will be useful, you know? But it's down to me to choose when that time is and how much he knows. As little as possible. Don't go bleating and blurting onto everyone that you're a prepper, you know? I'm doing this on a live fucking live stream that's public, open to anyone, you know? But I'm aware of that, and I've got plenty of precautionary measures put in place. You don't need to do that. You don't need to tell everyone what you've got. And like I've said in the past, if you have said something to someone that you're thinking, oh, I wish I'd not said that to them, just drop it into conversation at some point. Just say something like, yeah, I ended up, I could do with starting all over again. I've ended up using up all of the stuff that I had. I've got nothing put by now because it all started to go out of date. I had to start eating it all. Very simple, very believable, very plausible, very simple, you know? Yeah, hungry kids. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I can't. I'm not the kind of guy that can sit here knowing that next door's kids are going hungry. Can't do it. I can't do it. But I've just got to get my timing right and just see what he's prepared to do to step up to the table, literally, you know. And if he starts really, really struggling, I don't know. We'll cross these bridges when we come to them. It's just things that need to be thought about. But behind him, when the scenario happens, act shocked. Yeah. That's part of being the grey man. Fit in. Don't just fit in with the way you dress. Fit in with the way people are acting. You've got to fit in every single possible way. That's what a proper grey man is. Famous actress drank their own urine back in. People are doing it now, and then you've also got women on some platforms. I don't think it's on YouTube, that are taking their own period blood and using it on their face, saying, "No, this is really good. It's really good." No scientific evidence whatsoever. Just a dirty bitch. So I had a smug the other day as I lifted my hot water bottle and put another blanket on the bed. You see, that's another thing, right? Is that a lot of us are of a certain age, right? And I say that in a good way, the best age, right? Where I grew up in a house with no central heating. It was fucking freezing. No radiators, none of that. Single pane windows, sash windows. Getting out of your pajamas under the covers, and then getting into your school uniform under the covers, into your school clothes before you even get out of bed. It was so cold. Frost on the inside of your windows. No indoor toilet either. Outside toilet. So during the winter, we had a pail. We called them pails. Bucket. We had a bucket in the room. In everyone's bedroom. That's what we used to use. So you see, muscle memory doesn't always apply to muscle, as in physical muscle. It's memory. Muscle memory it applies to everything. So if you've experienced part of your life where you've lived in absolute squalor, or even homeless, like, but I was homeless during the summer ish. So that wasn't as bad, but I've experienced hardship, and I've experienced freezing cold fucking house, a cold bedroom. We can feel frost forming on the top of you. I had to have a sleeping bag, thick sleeping bag, and a couple of sleeping bags because I had allergies. I was going on about dust allergies and saying that no one had allergies when I was a kid. I was asthmatic, so dust and stuff like that used to set me off. I'm all right now; don't bother me now. But yeah, all of this will come. I've gone through the whole just having one room warm. Just as a practice run, but I know plenty of you guys. I know you have, because you've emailed me, and I also know people personally, friends that have also gone down the freezing cold house route during winter to acclimatise. But muscle memory has made me already acclimatized, and many of you guys. So, but there will be a lot of people out there that are going to be really, really pissed off because they've not got all of those creature comforts anymore. You know, not everyone's cut out for this shit. Bear that in mind. But behind in when the scenario happens, act shocked. Yeah. So yeah, the ration lines and stuff, you've got to join them if you absolutely need to, but go tooled up, because it's going to be, everyone's going to be pissed off. Everyone's going to be stressed out. Everyone's going to be anxious. You're going to get people that are going to try and push into the queue and stuff like that. I've never tolerated a queue pusher in my life, ever, because we are a country of queuers. Now, if someone was said, where does queuing fall in your top 10 of irritations, it's probably in the top 5, but I still do it because it's an orderly way. You know, it's the British way. We queue. It's fair. You know, so someone just jumping in, I'm having none of that ever. I don't care. I don't care who they are, how big they are. I've got to fucking say something. I'll embarrass them in front of everyone. So anyway, yeah, and that's at a festival or whatever, you know, or at the pub or in a club. You imagine a shit hits the fan sort of scenario. Everyone's triply stressed out, quadruply angry. You know, these lines are not going to be orderly. So take that into account as well. And these food lines, who's providing the food? What's in the food? Which is why we prepare. It's not just naturally gone down now. I'm going to click that and everything's going to disappear. Hi, Addie and Guess's mum. Hope you're all right, sweetheart. So I automatically know. Addie and Guess's mum. Does Addie and Guess actually know anything about this little tribe of ours? I was talking to a work colleague today about temperature increase. I said it got so hot back a few thousand years ago, it melted an ice age. Yeah, not completely. We're still in an ice age. As long as you've got massive amounts of ice on the planet, you're still technically in an ice age. Melted ice age. Now that must be. Hold on, it's gone down too quick. Hold on. Now that must have really hot. Now that must have been really hot then. Not zero bullshit. Yeah. That's the sort of stuff that we need to be saying to people, you know, and then pointing out that is it Ellis Island? People call it Liberty Island because they think it's called Liberty Island. I'm telling you, because it's got the fucking Statue of Liberty on it. No, that's not what it's called. But the sea level hasn't gone up there. You know, the sea level hasn't gone up anywhere. You know, and all you need to do is just find these little bits of information and say, look, you know, if we were heating up, the ice caps would be melting. Now, what is happening is that certain parts of the globe, if we live on a globe, don't get me started, please. Let's just go with this for now, because of the shifting in the magnetic poles, it's left certain areas of the poles exposed, or especially the North Pole. So where there are vast amounts of sea ice melting, there's vast amounts of sea ice forming, you know? Yeah, I love that. I love that emoji, you know, with all the love hearts and stuff. It's very warming. I am the lucky one, blessed to have had him in my life. Thank you all. Yes, you are, Joe. Don't ever forget. Take the men hunting. Yeah. Again, we don't know how fucked up this is going to get. It's a guessing game for all of us, which is why we try and think of the most highly likely potential outcomes and then prepare for them, with having the other ones back in the back of our minds. We're not stressing about them yet because we've got bigger fish to fry now, you know. So don't waste too much of your brain power worrying about shit. They say that 90% of what you worry about doesn't happen. I think that's a bit different now. We've got different shit coming at us. Exactly the same as that, Terry. Cold. It's knowing how to cope. My house is cold and damp, and I live near a river. Oh, I live near a river, you know. I hope that you're not living in I hope your place has never flooded and then it started to work its way up your street or anything like that, because that's a stress that you could do without, and could probably do with not worrying about as well. So sorry about pointing that out. But it's a source of water if you get desperate, if you've got a decent purification system. Typo, hunting. What? So the typo was hunting. You spelt hunting. Hunting or humping? Maria, very naughty, very naughty. Just remember the first days of Divok 19 Divok. You've been watching Sheep Farm Studios, haven't you, Ben? Am I right? That's because that's what they call it, the Divok. Let me go down. This is going to show a lot more, I think. Yeah. My son is awake, and both myself and his wee sister are signed in as him on our devices, as he knows I'm a tech tard. Well, it's just nice to know, it's just nice to know who I'm talking to. That's all, sweetheart. He could set an account up for you, I'd set one up for you. Whereabouts in Scotland are you actually from? I didn't guess his mum. What are your biggest concerns, guys? Tell me. Let me know in the chat. Just type what your biggest concern is. Try and make it one sentence if you can. And we'll talk through it. Yeah. And I'll see if I can put your mind to rest on a few of them. I'm assuming, Lana, that is your answer to my question. That's very quick. So I'm glad that there's not that much of a delay. Defense. So Lana, one thing that I would recommend to any woman is maybe look into local, if you can afford it, learn a bit of kickboxing, because it's very straightforward. You learn to put the maximum amount of power behind each punch and the maximum amount of power behind each kick. Whereas martial arts and mixed martial arts is a lot to learn. It's worth it long term, but if you want to learn something quick, because shit's getting a bit freaky deaky at the moment, it's probably a cheaper option and a more practical option for you, right? On top of defense, yeah, I'm going to work my way down through these. On top of self-defense, because self-defense, if you've got a rocket launcher, an RPG in your front room, just sat there waiting for a massive group of illegal aliens coming down your street that want to do whatever they want with you, right? And you want to just take them all out in one go. Yes, YouTube. Yes. Mass violence on people that mean as bad. You're also going to want, you're going to want to, if you're out and about, it's good if you can handle yourself in the situation. Get yourself out of a situation, give yourself some time to run away, or give yourself some time by fighting to get someone else's attention to come over and help you. And most people, most decent men will come and help you, but self-defense and home defense, if you've got if you want to know any more about this and go into any more detail at length, Lana, you've got my email. Let's chat and we'll find what's right for you. Joanna Morgan, I'm in a flood area. I did wonder. So I would check with your so you can't get home insurance. Well, you can make a start by getting sandbags. You can buy sandbags and you can get them delivered. You can buy muslin, the nice kind. Muslin, that sounded a bit racist, but You can get muslin sacks and then you can fill them with your own sand, cheap sand that you can just buy from Wicks, you know, and make a few sandbags up and make sure that you at least try and cover your air bricks. So most houses have got an air brick at the front and the back, sometimes just at the front. You need to try and cover that up, because then the water, hopefully if the water just gets to that level, it will just stop at the sandbags and not go into and under your floorboards and then come up through your floorboards. So maybe just shell out for some sandbags and just have a plan in your head on getting stuff upstairs, and you know, important stuff upstairs that you need, especially your food, you know, and your water. If you want to go into any more detail about that, again, we'll just bounce off each other. Email me. You know, I fucking love shit like this. The premise of this channel from the off was all about solutions, trying to find ways, you know, holes in your preps, concerns that you might have, anything like that. You know, we'll find an answer between us. We'll find an answer. We will. I guarantee it. We will. Paying your mortgage. You see that there are things that you can do. There are things that you can do. We'll have a chat about that, Lisa. There are when shit goes south and we don't know how it's going to go south or when it's going to go south, we're just preparing for it to go south because we know it's going to go south, at least temporarily. And there will be some women out there that will be offering certain services, but you're not going to be one of them. We'll find a way. We'll figure it out. Stay in touch with me and we'll have a general chat about it. I do Tabo for fitness. I don't know what Tabo is. I think it does count if I know what it is. But the fact that you're doing it for fitness, the fact that you're keeping fit is going to be massively beneficial to you, you know. But let me know what that is in the chat, Lana, because I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it, and I feel like a thick knobhead for not knowing. I'm a complete tech tard to Adian. Lots of people are, you know. All of a sudden we've been thrown into a digital era, and then they're about to try and boost us into another form of that, you know. And not everyone does, and not everyone wants to be involved with it. Concern for the future, being 28 and knowing I've got to live on this clown planet for years more. You've got the benefit, Ben. You've got the benefit of being 28 and getting to appreciate what's on the other side of this hill, because these fuckers are going to eat themselves alive. They're going to destroy themselves because they're completely they've lost the plot. Psychopath, right, is a quite a serious mental disorder. Narcissism, quite a serious mental disorder. So sociopathy, quite a serious mental disorder. All of these pricks have got all three, right? So they're not and they're surrounded by people. They're surrounding themselves by people that are similar. We do the same. Well, look at us, you know, same thing. So, but they're completely out of touch with the reality of the vast majority of the population of the planet, which is a lot of fucking people, you know? It might not be 8 billion, it might not be 8.5 billion. Who gives a fuck? But it's a lot of people. So because they're so kind of twisted and blinkered in what they're trying to achieve, they can only fuck up. They can only fuck up. You've just got to get yourself through the next couple of years, Ben. That's all, and you get to live a life, that some of us can only dream of. But that's it. And I'm not an optimist. But you've got to get through the next couple of years, brother. No matter what it takes. No matter what it takes. And it's going to take a lot. But you'll be all right. I'm telling you. Got the right fucking attitude. Marybank. What's a Marybank? About Marybank, about 16 miles north of Inverness, near. Oh, right. Okay. So you live in Marybank, 16 miles north of Inverness, near village of Muir of Ord. That sounds really oldie worldy, and like I like the sound of where you live. It sounds great. And yeah, you need to figure out your community and figure them out quite quickly. And yeah, you see that cities are going to be very, very difficult places to live in when the shit hits the fan. Villages could be there for easy pickings, could be. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be realistic here. I don't like to just pussyfoot around, because I can't do that, because that's not the reality of life. Towns are probably where you want to be. So I don't know what size Marybank is. I'm assuming, I've got a feeling that it's something about the size. It's a small town. Let me know. I didn't guess his mum, or let me know your name as well. Ever having to lose my daughter is my worst dread in life. You know what, Joanna? The amount of people out there that have got sons and daughters that keep going back for boosters and are completely locked away and ground up into the system. That the system, this world has done a proper job on them. So you are one of millions and millions of concerned mums. All you can do is just keep talking to her and just maybe trying to find different approaches to just say, look, this is what's happening, and here's the evidence. I don't know what she believes and what she doesn't believe, Joanna, because I've only got the chat to go by. But my email address. Just email me. We can go into this further. I'm glad you're still prepping though, Annie and Guess's mum, because it's something you continue doing that and do it to the hilt. And then whilst you're doing that, just make sure that you've got some sort of defense. Make your house difficult to get into, or at least give yourself enough time to make whoever does get into your house, if they manage to get into your house, very, very sorry that they did. I am near to Wicks. I live in a bungalow. If you live near a Wicks, you can get sand so cheap. If you've got any old pillowcases that you don't use anymore because you've suddenly decided that I don't like chintz anymore, I'm fucking sick of chintz. So you've gone for something a bit more, I don't know, a bit more up to date, a bit more modern, whatever. And you've got some old pillowcases that you just don't use anymore. if you can afford it, buy one of those little handheld sewing machines, not an actual sewing machine, a handheld one where you can just, it's got batteries, you can just fill it full of sand, loads and loads of sand, sew it up, you've got a sandbag, a big one, you know. And then just, if you've got the space, store them somewhere, but keep them dry, because otherwise your pillowcases will rot. And when you go to pick them up to make them into sandbags, they just fall apart in your hands. So that's definitely, it is kickboxing routine, but just for fitness. That's good enough. That's good enough, because you've still got the methods there. You've still got the you know. But I still recommend that you go to classes, Lana, because you get the opportunity to spar. You know, it's well and good just standing there, just going like that, you know, and throwing kicks out and stuff. It is great for fitness. Kickboxing is the dog's bollocks, you know. But when faced with having to use those skills against another person who might be a threat to you, you might not know what to do with yourself, really. I'm just being honest with you. That's where sparring comes in, because it'll come more naturally, if that makes sense. I keep fit by going shopping. You're a lass, you know. Lasses love shopping, you know. I saw this meme that someone sent me, and it was a picture of the aisles in a supermarket, man, the aisles of a supermarket, woman, and it shows you the line of travel. It's down one aisle, up another aisle, down another aisle, up another aisle, checkout, gone. Women all over the fucking place. Oh, I wonder if I should buy some of them. That's not on my shopping list. I wonder if I could get some of that as well. I don't think you're as efficient at shopping as men, if I'm honest. But I do think, you see, women piss all over men in so many areas, and men piss all over women in loads of other areas. This is why we belong together. We complement each other, you know, the yin yang. Concerns the weird future my youngest has to live through. How old's your youngest? And bear in mind, Addie and Guess's mum, your youngest has got you as a mum, and that in itself is a benefit. Bear that in mind. A prepper is a prepper. I used to worry about money. Now I don't have any to worry about. I love that. I love that. I had a chat with a friend. He's subscribed to the channel, but I don't think I think he might watch a bit here and a bit there. I don't know because we don't, when we meet up, we never really discuss any of this. And he was going on about he'll know if he is watching this, he'll know that I'm talking about him now. He was going on about Bitcoin and stuff like that, and I was just saying. So anyway, he was talking about Bitcoin, and then he was talking about the theory behind money being the root of all evil. And I was expecting him to turn around and say, actually, it's not. It's not. But that wasn't his point. You know, he went right around the houses, very, very, very interestingly. You know, not in a boring way, and arrived at the fact that money is the actual root of all evil. It really is. You take away money, and the amount of evil in the world is just halved, at least. You know, And we don't need to be living in a world where money exists. We don't really need that. We don't need to. There are ways around it. Learning new skills and offering your skills for food, offering your skills for someone else's skills, you know, that would be a perfect world that would be completely and totally functional. It really would. And if anyone has got any argument against that, that they think that would never work, drop it in the comments or email me, you know. I used to. Hello, Donna Marie. I'm going to call you Donna from now on, and just hope that I'm not talking to either Adian or whoever it is that's got this, you know. It's lovely to know your name, Donna. Hope you don't mind me calling you Donna instead of Donna Marie. There's about 100 people. What the fuck? That's a village. That's almost a hamlet. You see, there's part of me that's thinking, I wish I lived there. There's part of me that's kind of, yeah, well, Joe. But it's, you see 100 strong people defending a village can be all you need, as long as you use this and think outside the box, so that you just don't see it coming. But the chances of you having 100 people in your village that are all switched on and don't think you're a fucking Looney Tune for raising these concerns is pretty slim. I'll always be a realist. I'll always be honest with you. So moving to somewhere that's got a bit more of a population, and then trying to weed out who in that population is somewhere on the sliding scale of being awake. Okay, that would be my advice, for what it's worth. But we can delve further into that, Donna. Email me, you know, and we can try and tighten it up a little bit, you know. So you don't worry as much. I don't like the idea of any of you guys worrying, but I know you are. I know some of you are. I know some of you do. You know, I do sometimes. You know, I've told you, I have days where I get so fucking anxious, but they're few and far between, and they're becoming fewer and far between. I'm just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. It's all about your perception of life, and owning it. You know, just be the best version of yourself without being a cunt. I'm sorry for using that word again, but the more life throws at you, the more rhinos come out of nowhere and take you down, the stronger you'll get. You will. And the more you learn and the more you research, as long as you know when to take breaks, the stronger you'll get up here. You will. You will. And your body, your brain will tell you, I've had enough. This is a bit much now. I didn't know that. Or I wasn't expecting to see that. I wish I could unsee that. I wish I could unknow that. We'll go through little moments like that, but persevere. It will pay off. I've got some good things. Me and prepping family are sorting. It's been very hard being my age and being so different to the sheep that are your age. Ben, you wouldn't believe how many people are clued up at your age and younger. You know, I know sons of friends that you know, I'll be talking about something to their dad, and they'll chime in, and I'll be like, "For fuck me, I didn't see that coming." You know, what seems to be happening is that there are more and more people. I'm not saying that I'm not volume wise. I don't know. That's to be debated, right? But as far as quality over quantity, is concerned. We seem to, the young people that are coming up now, Ben, that are aware, are fucking off the charts. So imagine what they'll be like when they're my age. You know? So that's the little things like that have boosted my faith in these generations. And then on the flip side, we've got people in our little tribe that have got kids that have got jabbed up, and some of them questioning what gender they are. So there's just one extreme and another. But yeah, don't lose faith. Don't lose faith, brother. I'm telling you, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. Maybe you're not seeing it, you know. Maybe you're not looking for it. But have faith. Have faith, at least in yourself. And trust me, you know, there are people out there your age, and you know your kids growing up. You know, they've got you as a fucking role model. You know. Which is brilliant. I won't be wasting my batteries on a sewing machine. No, hey, go to work with it with a thimble and a needle and cotton. It's just the same. It's the same thing, and it's therapy as well. You can just sit there and just sew it all up. And all I'm saying is that you don't need to buy stuff in to make sandbags. You've already got the bags. You just need to sand. That's it. You know. Try and buy a cheap plastic bin or something like that can hold enough sand, for maybe 10 sandbags the size of pillows, and that'll give you a lot of protection, and hopefully it won't go over that line. And I'm sorry that you can't get insurance. But another thing about floods, because I've experienced flooding. Another thing about flooding is that your neighbours are going through the same shit. They've got the same threat. And this can all, so you end up helping each other. You know, as the water's getting high on theirs, go around, help them out. As the water's getting high on yours, they'll come and help you out. And if they don't come and help you out, you'll know that they're not worth fucking looking after. And if they come round, have you got any food? Do you remember not helping me when we had the floods? Do you remember that? Yeah, fuck off. Door slam in the face. That's not a great situation to be in, you know. Getting your neighbours on side without letting them know that you're a prepper is that perfect balance. But yeah, you can make, like I said, you can make sandbags out of pillowcases. You know, even pillowcases that you're using. If you've got a threat, you know, it's yeah. 8 years old. 8 years. Right. So you've got an 8-year-old. You've got an 8-year-old child and a 29-year-old child. Is that right? Again, they've got one seriously tough mama bear, you know. And you strike me as one of these mums that you hear about. We've all heard of the story of a mum literally lifting a fucking car off a child. This unnatural level of strength that comes from nowhere. We've got, most people have got absolutely no idea of what their full potential is. Most people have got no full understanding of what we're truly capable of, you know, and we are just gradually ascending and getting better and better. And our peripheral vision is getting wider and wider and wider, and we're seeing more and more and more. And our brains expanding to the point where we can take more and more and more information in. All of this is happening. I'm telling you, I've said it 1,000 times, that this great awakening is a phenomenon, and it's real. It really is. It's real. You know, Fuck the fact that they can't find a mainstream scientific explanation for it. We know. I encourage all men to go shopping. They are so useful for reaching high shelves. So steps, we're good for. But yeah, if I saw someone struggling to reach something, if I saw a little old dear in a supermarket and she's like trying to reach for something, I'd go up and say, I can see you struggling there, love. Why don't you buy something a bit lower down? No, I am. Yeah, I would consider myself to be a gentleman. I would, 100%. The love of money is not the root. The love of money is the root of all evil. It is. You see, all of these people have got a price. Stop, Zephyr. Why don't you just lie down? Just lie down. All of these people have got a price, and then there are people that will turn around and say, I haven't got a price. And then someone will push a little check over with loads of zeros at the end of it, and they'll go, oh, all right then. I'm not one of them men. I had a very, very brief conversation on the phone with one of our lovely little tribe. And people who know me, they know that I've already said that I've said so many things in these live chats and in videos that I've done. People have gone to prison for way less. People have had their doors smashed open for way less, and no one's knocking at my door. And if they do, then I'll deal with them. I don't have a price. There's right and there's wrong, and I've got a very, 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 very distinctive knowledge of which is which. It's all about your moral compass. There's too many weak men in the world that cave into cash, and it's not the way. It's not the way. And then all retired, but we school has about 30 kids. No shops, but fresh eggs along the road are surrounded by farms. Oh, I love that. I love that. But the fact that there's 30 kids at that school means that there could be 60 parents that are going to want to protect those kids. 60 parents can do a lot of damage to people that mean ill. Just bear that in mind. On my own, but no, I will survive this. I knew as a bairn that I was made to go through tough times. Yeah, and tough times make tough people. Remember, pressure makes diamonds, and that's a scientific fact, and that can be applied to us, and it is applied to us. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just diamonds don't have a brain or a soul that can be damaged or corrupted. You just need to make sure you don't get damaged or corrupted. Yeah, very, 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 very easy fix. Hope you guys don't mind, but I'm just going to use the big boys' room. I don't like to say the little boys' room. And I'll be right back. I love, you can't beat relief, you know, in whatever form it comes in. And, you know, going back to, because people have run out of, I love Lily's comment. Hi, wafflers. I'm at work because she knows I waffle. And she knows that I say that I waffle. And I like that. So lovely. Hey, Lily. Hey, you shouldn't, what? You're at work? What do you think we're fucking paying you for? Hey, you ain't got time to be looking at this. Much love, Lily. So, you know, going back to letting me know, telling me what concerns you. I mean, there's 17 people watching, you know, and no one's telling me anything else about what really worries you. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about being concerned? And we'll see if we can sort it out in the comment section, you know, and come up with some solutions. But going back to Lana and talking about defence, I mean, I'll show you. I've shown a few things, and I've shown a few things very subtly as well, just to point out that would get past the algorithms, but wouldn't get past you. You know. So let me show you another simple one, right? Oh, fuck. Bear with. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, every prepper needs to have quite a few of these in their house dotted around, you know. Now, you mix this with I can't be asked with fucking about with the top. I'm not patient enough at the moment because I want to focus on this. I want to focus on the live stream. So you mix this and that, and you've got a miniature flamethrower with a directable jet. And they can try putting it out. They can try. Not happening. And the reason it's not happening is because they are continuing to be a threat. If they're still there, they're continuing to be a threat. And as long as they continue to be a threat, you continue to apply the pressure to said flames. Now, again, you know, YouTube could take this video down for me just saying that. This is self-defense. I'm not saying for 1 second that any of you guys should go out and about think, oh, I'm bored. I'm really fucking bored. Oh, man, can't think of anything to do. Oh, I'll go out and set people on fire. No one's thinking that, you know. It's all about defense. It's all about defending yourself, you know. And if you can neutralize someone, and fire is very good at that, then fuck them. You know, they shouldn't be there. So yeah, I've got a very I feel very passionate about defense. Very passionate. And I wish that I could tell you loads and loads, but I can't. And I said that from one of my earliest videos when someone asked me, what about defense? You know, what do you do for defense? You know, you've shown us this, you've shown us that. What about defense? And I said, look, nobody should be talking about their defense. Nobody. but you need to be thinking outside the box. Think outside the box, and you wouldn't believe what you can achieve. And that rhymes. But I'm telling you, think outside the box, because defense is important. Because even if you never ever need, if it never gets to the point where you are actually literally defending your home, right? Just knowing that you can takes that edge off. Just knowing you can. That's it. The same as the food that you've got stored away, right? Even if the shops never run out of food, you know you've got you can take the edge off any anxiety or stress, knowing that you'll be all right if they do. It's the same thing. It's the same sort of principle. It's all preparedness. It's exactly the same thing, just in a different format. One's about eating, the other one is about burning people to death because they're trying to do you harm. If someone's trying to do you harm, you have the right to use lethal force. So that's just me setting the record straight on ShitTube, on CommieTube. You know, it's all about defense. I'm not recommending anyone go out and there and just set people on fire just for a crack, you know. You've got to be a proper wrong and to do something like that. So, not only does she lick her bits with this giant fucking flying carpet of a tongue, she nibbles like. It's a fucking hideous noise, but I know that I've got to just chill out, you know, because I'm just glad she's all right. Hoping to leave early because of snow. Shall we talk amongst ourselves whilst Terry has a comfort break? That's a nice word for a piss. Yeah. Enjoy the snow, Lily. We've not got any snow here. We just get drizzle and rain. At least snow is beautiful. Rain's just shit, you know? It's like, do I need to water do my plants need to be watered? No. Do we need more mud? No. Do I enjoy taking the girls out for a walk and then bringing them back and having to put them in the shower to get them clean enough to go into the front room and clean all the pores and that? No. I fucking hate rain. You know, it's only good when you're trying to grow stuff during the summer and you've got some nice hot days in between where you can just sunbathe and just enjoy the sunshine. Other than that, rain sucks. Damp, cold, damp shit. At least snow's beautiful, you know. When waffling becomes an Olympic event, I shall represent England and I shall go up against you, Joanna Morgan. You know, you might get silver and then you'll aspire to my gold the following year. I've just seen myself doing that. That looked very, very camp. Oh, okay, now. Wish I knew how to edit. I had a big mug of hot chocolate this morning. Delicious. I love a nice hot chocolate now and then, but not Cadbury's because they love the whole Beauvais shit. Then I definitely wouldn't mix rubbing alcohol with super hot chilies, putting it in a spray bottle and marking it hot chili sauce. Have you watched some of my videos, Ben? Where I was in a pretty dark place at the time, very dark, and I had one of these pressure bottles. You've got it's not a bottle, it's a canister really, but it's got 1,000 liters, 1,000 milligram, 2,000 milligram, tells you how much, and you fill it up with water or alcohol, and then you just put ghost chili paste in there into the warm water, shake it all up, so it's all mixed in there proper. Pump, 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 spray, 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 spray. And you see the pepper spray that the police, that the pigs use. I'll call them pigs because that's what they are. It's got nothing to do with me. Their pepper spray is like probably 6 foot tops. With these pump, 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 and the handheld spray things, you're looking at 15 foot, 15, 20 foot, maybe further if you hold it up higher and the pressure's high enough. And that's ghost spray. That's ghost chili spray in their eyes. The fucked. You can do whatever you want with them, man. You can be like a cat with a fledgling. I know that sounds dark, but if they're at your doorstep, they fucking deserve whatever's coming to them. Hey up, Dave. Nice to see you, matey. Never say or claim any tool is a weapon. If you use what you have, if you use what you have, because according to law, if you say it's a weapon, you can be charged with it being. There is some truth in that, Dave, but the issue we have here is that I don't give a fuck. Lily, it's well researched. It's a well-researched book. I don't know what the book was. Cheers, Dave. I knew you got that, brother. That wasn't meant to be a negative return. Far from it. I'm not like that, man. It's well-researched book. I don't know what that book is. Yeah, man, especially those Carolina Reaper chilies. Yeah, I'm telling you, ghost pepper chilies, ghost chili peppers. Oh, my stepson bought me a chocolate bar because chilies go quite nice with chocolate. It's just someone who's obviously thought, yeah, spot on, Dave. Much love, brother. Yeah, he got me a chocolate bar and it told you the percentage of how much ghost chili was in there, and it was something like 0.00 something stupid, like to the point of like you thinking, "Is there any point in putting any chili in there?" Because it's just so fucking pathetic. Whew. Imagine that shit in your eyes, And the video that I did about this pump thing, with chili pepper in there. It was I'd watched some footage at the time. This is back when like there were people were doing protests and the police were getting fucking and they got the fuck around and find out. They tried to move their way into a massive crowd of people who were playing music, and they fucking learned the hard way. And that was if any of you fuckers are looking now or listening now, right? This is just the tip of the iceberg. Wait till this nation erupts on you, and you'll realize very quickly you're on the wrong fucking side. So my point when I was doing this, I was going through, I think it was like a 3-stage video, like part 1 of like 10 pieces of kit that I've got, part 2 of 10 pieces of kit that I've got, part 3, 10 pieces of kit. If you go back, you'll find it. It's dead obvious. That was one of them. And I just said, we know that they were using that on peaceful and on really violent crowds, violent people with banners saying we want freedom, violent people that were just playing musical instruments on a sunny day. So I just said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And you're a fucking gander. And that video's still up. So fuck them. You know, anyone that tries to oppress you is out of order. If you're a good person, you're trying to do the right thing, you know, you're just trying to live your life in peace, raise your family, bring your family up, you know, show love. Anyone tries to stomp on that, deal with them. Fucking deal with them. Yeah, there's a lot of people can't handle ghost chilies. I'm one of them, and I've got, you know, I love a bit of spice. I've mentioned it in so many videos. You know, I love heat. You know, but ghost chilies they're a bit much, which is why it's great to just buy this ghost chili paste, or if you don't want to get ghost chili, because ghost chili paste is quite hard to come by. I think you can get it online. So I bought 2 jars of this stuff. So I've got one in me just to kill the bacteria on my fake grass, my fake lawn, because the girls go for a wee on it, and I need to kill the bacteria. So that's why I used all that ghost chili and this ready to use fully compressed sprayer that can fuck people's eyes up. It's not for that. It's just to keep the smell down during the summer. You know, I'm a peaceful guy. I'm very placid. So 1 jar, 1 whole jar. Woo! So yeah, mixed in red hot water, and then so it's all dissolved, and then add it to warm water. So red hot water to dissolve the paste until it's all dissolved. You know, just in one of these Pyrex jugs or something like that. And then when it's all dissolved, empty it into the main container. Pump, spray, just to keep the smell of the dogs weeing on your garden at bay. You understand. Yeah, honestly, the chilies, it's you know, look at it this way, you know, none of us want any violence. This is just an organic way of dealing with cunts that mean to do you harm. That's it, in a nutshell. And I can remember one of the comments that I got back from posting that video, and someone said, "How do you know that it was something bad they were spraying?" And I was just thinking, hold on. My retard alert systems have just kicked in. You know, it's not going to be fucking fairy liquid, is it? Honestly, some people, they do trigger me, you know, and I am trying to get out of doing that, but sometimes it's hard because I just lose patience with really fucking stupid people. And one of my posts on this, you know, this Nextdoor app, you should try it because it's perfect ground for if you go in there and download the app, because not many people have heard of it. Download the app and then just put a post saying, "Is anybody on this app awake? Only people that are awake will understand this message." And then you'll get all of these hearts, and then you'll get these comments, and that's all I did. and then all of a sudden that post was hidden. So I then went on to appeal against this post being taken down, but I can't tell you what I said, and I'm amazed that I've not been banned. A lot of it had to do with this. You know, this is like, what are you? Some sort of like purple-haired, lefty, lunatic, Nazi fuckwit, doing a digital version of burning books, you pathetic snowflake of a wank stain, something like that. I used all those words, but I can't remember in what order. And I've still got an account on there. You know, all of the other stuff that I've commented on still there. So I've not been chucked off the platform, but it's a good place to try and network, because they're all people in your area. They're all people that live around you. Do you know what I mean? So you can start to network. So you can direct message people if they comment. You can direct message them, and before you know it, you've got a few people, you know, and start reading them, trying to suss them out, work out where they are on the sliding scale of awakeness, and start networking, and you'll feel less alone, because there are definitely 100% people in our little tribe that look forward to their lives, because they can speak and talk and say whatever they want about the reality of life that a lot of people are blind to out there. So you feel like you're part of a community. So you can't beat interpersonal groups. You can't beat it. So this is a good way of considering making a start on building a group of real people around you that you can invite around your house, and then you can go around their ass. And Lily, when I say ass, that's just Nottingham slang for house. So if I say, can I come in your ass? it's not meant in a literal sense, you know. There was a comedian said, he was on about saying ass because it's house. We say house, but we say it ass. And he was saying he went over to America, and he was chatting to this girl, and he just said, "Can I come in your ass?" And she was American, so she didn't get it. He said, I won't make a mess." Oh my gosh. The Cockney guy. I've forgotten his name now. I'm sure someone will mention him. Yeah, mine does too, Dave. It goes off a lot. But we've also got to just, again, this is the sticky point. We're at a sticky point now, because there are so many people out there that are on the brink of coming around and having some level of understanding of what's happening, and a lot of those people will come out of their shell, realize the reality of this, and then they will go back into their shell because they can't fucking cope with what we've been dealing with for the last 5 years. Some people more, you know, it's too much for them. But there are a lot of warriors that are up and coming, and but it's still quite easy to pick out the retards. And again, anyone that's got a problem with that word, you know, have a look at the dictionary, have a look at the proper definition of the word retard. It's got a double meaning. It's not necessarily aimed at a vulnerable, you know, group of society. Not at all. Okay, where was I? Oh, so if I've missed you, Ben, if I haven't, good night, brother. And stay strong. And I'll see you in the next one. My gripe with the police is that they don't. You've only got one. Is that they don't know their local families like they did back then. in the day, just because they're different. They're all woke tards. They're woke tards. They're ex-bully victims. They're roid heads, steroid heads. When they finish the shift, even though they've got no sperm left, and it gives them a bad attitude when they get on shift, when they're actually on the job, and they work for the Crown Corporation, which is a corporation. They've got no power over you, none. So I've got a book full, really, potential book full of my gripes with the police. Now they harass auditors who are informing us about, but any decent auditor, especially auditing Britain, right? He's the biggest auditor in Britain, and he knows what he's talking about. So every time the police, unfortunately for us, every time the police fuck up and arrest him or detain him, it's usually either Section 1 of PACE or Section 43 of the terrorist whatever, and because he's saying all the right things at all the right time, and he ends up getting payout after payout after payout, and the average payout's about 10 grand. So they're all these pigs are all out there trying to extort money out of all you guys with speeding fines because you were 3 miles over fucking 20 miles an hour. If you were doing 30, I would have survived. But because you were doing 20, you're fucking up the atmosphere because your emissions are higher and your government's lying to you, and you're a naive little prick. But yeah, anyway, he knows his stuff. I like watching Auditing Britain. Very entertaining. The book is fun if you wonder where all the regional accents came from and traditions and manners. That sounds really interesting, but I just don't read books. If there's an audio version of it, I'd be well up for that, because that sounds really interesting. I've just clocked that come up at Alana. I'll get down to that in a sec, sweetheart. I am not a naturally confident person, but I feel comfortable and welcome here. That's what I'm saying, Joanna. But this is good to fill in gaps. But trying to find other people and form groups so you've got an interpersonal, it does take more out of you. It is more effort. It is harder work. But anything that's worth grafting for is worth it. Because what can we do from here? We can be there for each other. We can have a bit of banter. We can share experiences and information and stuff like that, tips but we are quite restricted because we're miles and miles away from each other. Lily, she's in a completely different continent. So trying to form your own groups is essential moving forward. Interpersonal groups. And if you find one person in the middle of that group that tries to overpower the whole group, fuck them off. Get rid of them straight away and then start again. Or have a good word with them. Tell them to shut the fuck up, take a breath, let someone else have a go and see how you get on and take it from there. We don't let anyone overpower your groups, but groups are important moving forward. They really are. Oh, it's so lovely. He's like, I love this. I love this. Yes, Joanna, he is a legend. I love it. I love it when you. I love that. It makes me feel warm. It's a nice feeling. A film I'm gonna watch tonight or tomorrow called Mr. Jones from 2020, when millions were starved for educational purposes. Right, make a note of that. I've had to bulk buy these bastards because I use so many of them. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll think to myself, oh, that was profound. And I'll write it down, And then sometimes I'll think of something and I'll just think that's profound. I need to mention that in a live stream. By the time I fucked about in the past, historically, by the time I fucked about trying to find a pad and then trying to find a fucking pen that works, it's got loads of ink in it, but you can be scribbling and scribbling and scribbling and nothing happens. So after about 15, 20 seconds, it gets snapped and goes in the bin. So I've got a lot of pens and a lot of post-it notes now. Mr. Jones. Thank you, Lana. I will check that out. I don't know what it's about. You've given absolutely no context or premise, but I trust you. We have never been closer, in my humble opinion. Closer in what regard? I grew up in New York. You grew up in New York? Hold on, Lily. Can you see the little veins in my head that start throbbing when I see a comment that confuses me? I grew up in New York, New England, near Southampton. Yeah. So from my perspective, that's a head fuck. But I love head fucks because it keeps me on my toes. So thank you, Lily. You've gone right to the top of my Christmas card list. Well, next one down from Lana, because I actually got a Christmas card from Lana, and it was lovely. And Lana, by the way, you because I've just chucked the Christmas cards away because I've got to try and start decluttering, right? And I'm not saying that your Christmas card is clutter because it was beautiful and your handwriting is immaculate. It says a lot about your creativity, right? Your handwriting equals your artistic talent. But it says on it, Merry Christmas, love, Lana. I've forgotten the name of your dog already. Lloyd. And we something else. And I couldn't read it. So what is that, a budgie? Or have you got a little rogue rat that turns up now and then and chews on your fucking cheese or whatever, dog food or whatever, and then fucks off again because they're so smart. So I don't know. Let me know. We had a guinea pig. Oh, I love guinea pigs. They like guinea pigs in Papua New Guinea as well, but not as pets. I'm so sorry I said that. But they do snack. They do snack on them, It is a staple over there. Again, it's quite difficult for British people and a lot of American people to get their heads around because we associate guinea pigs with just being these cute little furry, really, really friendly pets, really friendly. And I sound like someone who's trying to do verbal Morse code who's just been kicked in the bollocks. Oh my God. Gardeners Island, just off the coast, there has been there has been in some families since the 1600s. I have never heard of that, Lily, but thank you for making me smile. Thank you for the little mini head fuck, and I'm glad that made you smile too. That's a lot of heritage there, a lot. Yeah. So are you English then, Lily? Because the veins are still throbbing. You know, I feel like I've got an answer that requires more questions, and then I've got a feeling that you're going to give me an answer that's going to need even more questions. So are you English of heritage? But then a lot of Americans are. Has anyone ever seen that? There's a little video that did its rounds years ago, but it's starting to do its rounds again. And it's got this Oriental lady just kind of like doing some stretches, you know, with her legs and that before she goes for a jog. And then there's a typical American guy comes up to her and says, where are you from? And she says, well, I'm from New Jersey originally. And he said, no, where are you from? And then this woman turns around and says, well, my grandma was from Korea. He said, I knew it. I knew you were either Korean. This is the American guy. I knew you were either Korean or American, either Korean or Japanese or Chinese. I knew you were one of them. And then he mentions a couple of Chinese dishes, like she's going to relate to that just because her eyes are slightly different, you know? And he waffles on some more bollocks. And then she turns, and this is in America, and then she turns around to him and says, where are you from? He says, oh, I'm American. And she says, oh, are you Native American? He said, no. I guess, well, my descendants are from England, I suppose. And she says, oh, toil and babble. All right, geezer, how's it going? Oh, it's Mary Poppins. She did loads of like proper English accents, and this bloke was just left there, just, you know, and it was just satire and irony, just perfectly blended together. Just beautiful. All my grandparents were Irish. I think a lot of Americans' descendants were Irish. And can you believe that at some point there were signs saying no blacks, no dogs, no Irish, and no Irish was at the bottom? Can you fucking believe that? Can you believe that? You know? And we're going through something way worse than that now that applies to all of us. But instead of the Irish being on their own and being oppressed like that, these fuckers have got a whole planet full of people that are pissed off with them. It's just that quite a few of these people need to come around a bit more, wake up a little bit, you know, read the room and grow a pair. Movie. Algo may remove this. It is Holo. I don't know how to pronounce. Holodomor. I don't know. Email it to me, Lana, because I bet everyone else is getting that apart from me, you know. Because I'd like to write it down. And I can't because it doesn't make any sense to me. Well, yeah, you know, I love the Irish. I think a couple of downsides to the Irish. Again, honesty, okay? Not intended to offend. One of the biggest uptakes of any nation per capita, per population, was Ireland. And there have been studies that say that the IQ level of the average Irish person is, average to, look it up. Look these studies up. And it's not meant to offend, but I think they're going to need to take a lot more shit over there, considering the size of the island and the fact that they're having more and more foreigners from faraway lands that have got absolutely no idea about typical Western European culture being just pumped into the country. Tiny little Emerald Island, right? Pumped in there on top of Romany gypsies. Now, Romany gypsies, you don't want to live next door to them, And again, if anyone thinks, that I'm being a bit racist, I'm speaking the truth. I'm talking the truth. If you live in Western Europe or America, and you end up with Romany gypsies moving in right next door to you, the value of your house will go down by approximately 30 grand overnight. Because they don't give a fuck. They don't care. Backwards, like the rest of them. Backwards. Again, I'm not pulling any fucking punches here. I'm telling the truth. These are facts. There are so many. I do believe. I'm being dead honest with you, right? I do think that sometimes I say stuff that some of you guys would love to say, but just don't. And that's got to change. You got to speak. You got to speak your mind. You got to be honest. As long as you can back it up with some sort of logic, And I do. We've got these people from the Far East coming into this country thinking it's okay to shag kids. Yeah. So, excuse me for being a little bit fucking racist, if that's what you want to call it. And there are thousands and thousands of videos where German women, Swedish women, Swiss women, French women, all across Europe are being accosted by these backward-thinking fuckwits with an IQ of about 3 that just can't tell that the woman is feeling really, really uncomfortable and she just wants you to just fuck off. Just fuck off. Your company is not wanted. Stop asking her for a date. Stop asking her if she wants to go out. You're missing all of that body language that's telling you to fuck off. So excuse me if you think I'm a bit racist. I just care about the women and the kids of our civilized countries. Because they're a direct threat. It's been proven. It's right across the newspapers and the news outlets of all of this mainstream shit, and they're taking stuff light. These fucking idiots. The mainstream media and all of the mainstream rag newspapers and stuff, they put it across in a really nice buttered up way. The actual reality of it all is very different. So excuse me if you think I'm a bit fucking racist. If that's how you interpret me, that's how you interpret me. If it was left to me, I'd bag them all up, ship them all up, have armed guards, making sure that the queue is kept and left orderly, put them all on a ship, fuck them all off. And let me just clarify. I don't mean anyone that's not white. I don't mean that, just in case anyone tries to twist shit around. You've heard how highly I speak about the Hindus, right? And you've heard me say how brave the Sikhs are and that they've gone shoulder to shoulder with us in so many wars. You know, it's not about the colour of your skin. It's about the cuntishness of your content. And that's all I'm seeing. I had two great grandmothers who were Irish. You've clearly come from good stock, Lily, because you come across as a very intelligent and expressive, deep, lovely, sweet woman. I've watched a few. I don't know if you've like noticed any of the comments that I've put in certain specific videos that you've done. There was one where you would. This is to you, Lily, where you were sat around a campfire with a friend of yours. I think she might have been off her tits a little bit. I think she might have been, you know, but she was a very, very interesting woman, and it was a very entertaining. I felt like I was there, sat around the campfire with you. It was really, really interesting. It was lovely. I loved it. Yeah, your videos are quite diverse. You know, there's I think there's something for everyone in there somewhere, you know. It's a lovely channel. My grandfather had so that was Joanna. Sorry, Joanna, I got the two mixed up. My grandfather had to hide his name Patrick. He went by Joseph. Exactly, you know. They're like the Irish people. If you stood an Irish person, not necessarily Northern Ireland, from Ireland, someone from an Ireland, put an Irish man, typical Irish man, stood next to me, and we're both not saying anything, right? And I've not got my cap on, which is pretty like Northern England, you know. I haven't got any fucking whippets. I don't fucking race pigeons. It's just a hat. So just me with this beard, you know, with no hat on, just a normal t-shirt, just normal mundane clothes, normal clothes, stood next to an Irishman. You wouldn't be able to tell us apart. So what was the problem? I'll tell you what the problem was. I think was the Catholic and the Protestant beef that they had with each other, and no one wanted any of that shit coming over to England. I think that must be the only reason. Got to be the only reason. Other than that, there's no difference. We're the same. You know, you're a couple of 100 miles away from me. That's it. A couple of 100. You can go a couple of 100 miles and still be in the same state in America. It was mad. No idea how they can put no blacks, no dogs, and then no Irish at the bottom. Outside bars and cafes and bed and breakfasts. You know, it's fucking sick. Absolutely mental when you think about it. Holodomor. Lana, is that the name of it? I haven't got Prime. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last live stream or not. But they're saying that if you've got a thingy account, you know, Netflix account, then you might have to end up paying for a TV license. I'll just cancel my Netflix. Not a problem. You know, most of it's woke shit anyway, with subliminal messages in there. It's really difficult for me to watch a fucking film these days without going, did you see that symbol there? Oh, they had to put a lesbian in there. Oh, there has to be a mixed race couple there. Oh, the vast, massive amount of the cast has to be black in a period English drama. You know, fucking hell. Give me that extra bit of a nudge to get rid of Netflix. Do you? That's the chat line of someone that doesn't know how to chat women. It's like, I do you. You know, they don't even start off with, can I buy you a drink? Want a drink? Take your pick. Top shelf, anything you like. No strings. I do you. Yeah, someone who doesn't know how to chat with women would say something like that. And that's a username. No offense to do you, by the way. That's, you know, just saying. That friend is often drunk. Sad to say. She is native. I know. You see, this is so white man take over. White man build beautiful buildings. White man build amazing infrastructure and sanitation. But white man ruin your fucking perfect way of life. So yeah, it is very sad. I was having this conversation, Lily, with my dad the other day, just saying that, you know, a lot of these reservations, you know, yeah, you can have this little bit of fucking scrap of land. You know, we want all the good stuff. You have this shitty little bit of land here, you know, and here's as much alcohol and as many drugs as we can fucking throw at you to destroy your community even more. It's so wrong. It's so fucked up. We did it to America. We did it to New Zealand. We did it to Africa. We did it to Australia. You know. I just hope that that these original people of these lands don't tar us all with the same brush, because we're not all like that. It's our governments. It's our governments that we need to fucking take down. And yeah, you know, fuck them. We need to take them down. Everything needs to change. This is not sustainable. It's not good for us. It's not good for anyone. You know, these people in charge, they need to be fucking removed by whatever means necessary. It is what it is. Where are we? Respect to you from the Republic of Ireland. Oh, Tony, I hope that nothing I just said there came across as insulting. If anything, I was fighting your corner, brother. Hello, Bo Witchy. Beautiful, beautiful big yellow heart there. The religions were a way to keep people divided. Yeah. And the fucking Mormons. You see, does anyone remember that? That's again. So this takes me back to what is proper Christianity, right? So the Mormons are going to turn around and say this is proper Christianity. The Mormons, right? And then you've got the Methodists, and then you've got the Church of England, and then you've got Catholicism, and blah 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 blah. I've not got enough hands. So which is the correct Christianity? But all I'm saying is that. So what was that massacre in Texas, Waco, right? So that was a small like shrunken down sect of or splinter of Christianity, right? And they were all fighting back, shooting back, because they were all fucked in the head, all fighting back and shooting back. And, you know, and they all got destroyed. most of them. So what's the difference between them and the Mormons? Now, I do need to say that if there's any Mormons in the live chat, I just need to say, fuck you. Yeah, I'll look into maybe it's Mrs. Jones. See, it was there. Yeah, I've got that written down. But there was another one. Lana. I've got Miss Hinchin as well. Where's Miss Hinch? I've not seen her name. Apologies if I've missed you anywhere. I do apologise. I don't mean to miss comments. I get talking and I talk. I don't even talk to the. I don't even look at the. I should look at that really, so that I'm talking to you. You know, but I'm looking at the screen, and I miss comments from time to time. I do apologise. It's not intentional. You know me. Yeah, exactly. I mean, do any of you guys have a TV license? You might be embarrassed to admit it, but I do kind of get why some people still have a TV license, just so that they can gauge just how much bullshit's coming out of it through all the mainstream channels, like CNN for Lily. You know, we've got the British Bullshit Corporation, the bastard bullshit corporation. You see, and the only reason that they're turning around and saying, "Right, if you've got Netflix, we might have to charge you because you're watching, you know, whatever, some stupid, shitty, oppressive deal that they've done with Jeff over there." They're just gonna lose and lose and lose. They're losing out. People are just stopping paying their TV license by their droves. You know, record amounts of people, and it's increasing month after month after month. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is a sign of people setting themselves free. You know, it doesn't get more beautiful than that. You know, at whatever level that is, it doesn't matter. Free is free, and they'll learn the rest as they move along. Cheers, Tony. Yeah, no offense intended, mate. I was proper fighting your corner, proper. But one thing that I did say about Ireland earlier on, I don't know if you were in the chat at the time, is that there was a massive uptake of the jabs. You know, more than I think more than any other European country, and that was not good, because we still don't know the long-term effects further down the line of what these different batches had in them. But again, a lot of them were saline, so I keep my fingers crossed, and much love to you, brother, and hope that not many of your family was affected by it. And I love the way that the Irish use the word grand. Oh, it's all right, Terry. It's grand. It's grand. It's grand. So it is. It's all right. No problem here. I love it. I love your accent, mate. Lisa's got a beautiful accent. I've spoken to her on the phone. You know, lovely, beautiful accent. Love it. I've always loved the Irish accent. It's such a soft, gentle, lovely accent. Where are we? Keir Starmer seems to be managing his own downfall perfectly. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's like, give me more rope. Whilst I'm pulling on this rope to hang myself, it's taking my mind off how many times I've been fucked by Jimmy Savile. I haven't had a TV since it went digital. Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, we live in a world of we live in a digital world now, Lily, because fortunately, we're in fact not having a TV. I mean, I use I do a little bit of gaming now and then, just for a bit of escapism. And no, it doesn't make me want to go out and start shooting people. You know, fucking hell. And sometimes I'll watch DVDs, Blu-rays, Netflix, just from time to time, or play music through my TV. Other than that, that's it. When people get rid of their TV license and stop watching mainstream TV, they'll be given an elevation of consciousness. Some of it will be big and very noticeable in some, and it will be very incremental and little initially for others, but it will encourage those people to start finding their own news, trying to find their own information, tailor-made, and that'll open their eyes a lot quicker, you know. So getting rid of your TV license and stop watching that fucking mind-numbing shit will only enhance you as a human being. It will set you free, because it's full of shit, pure propaganda. Who was the god? So quick quiz. Don't Google it. I'm hoping that one of you will just know who was the godfather of propaganda. I think it was Miss Hinch that changed her username to do you. Thanks, Lana. Yeah, thanks for that. Apologies, do you. I did forget. I do apologise. I'm not very good at remembering stuff like that. I remember stuff that really, really, really resonates and matters. And I'm not saying that you don't matter. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I believe Jesus said, "Love your neighbour as yourself. I try to be kind." I get the sentiment in that. Okay. But if I've got a cunt of a neighbour, I'm not going to love them. It's that simple. I'll try to bring them around, you know, so that we can get on a bit better, so things are a bit more positive. When I've done nothing wrong, nothing, you know, I don't blast my music out. I don't blast the music out in the garden, or I'm a considerate neighbour. I'm a considerate man, you know. So when you end up with a bitch of a neighbour, that's a bitch for no reason, then forgive me for not loving her, you know. I know that they say that, you know, forgiveness and all that. Let me tell you a bit about something very, very briefly. I can sometimes forgive but not forget. I can sometimes forget but not forgive. But most of the time, I don't do either. If someone's wronged me, that's it. You know? That's it. No second chances. If you can do it once, you can do it again. And I would rather surround myself with people, however few or many, with people that are genuine and they are what they say on the tin. Even if they can be a little bit kind of outspoken and a bit obnoxious sometimes, you know, I overlook that because they are what they are and I know what's what, you know. Other than that, you know, bad people are bad people. Annoying, shit weasel people, I've got no time for them. So this forgive and forget thing and this love thy neighbour thing, you know, you do you and I'll do me. This is about survival now. Just remember that. You're a prepper, first and foremost. Look after the ones that you care about and those that care about you. A lot of fluoride put in the Irish water. Yes, there is. Oh, someone sent me something earlier on. Oh, fuck. You know, sometimes I forget to make notes of stuff and save stuff to my phone, and there's case law now, so you can literally stop paying your water rates. Just stop and say, prove to me that this isn't happening. I'm not saying that I am refusing to pay. I am withholding payment until you can prove to me that this is not the case. And that's it. And they'll never, ever be able to do that. Ever. So that's, I don't know how much you're paying in water rates, but it's fucking expensive in Nottingham, you know. It's about £47 a month. That's, you know, £47 a month, that's an hour's shopping now. An hour's worth, 2 hours worth of shopping. But yeah, thank you for that, Lily. That is correct, and people need to start doing something about it. The next campaign is to stop paying the council tax. Yeah, that's I've got like I've explained in a previous live stream, and maybe a live stream before that, I don't know. Please forgive me if I forget what I've said and what I haven't said. When you do 5-hour live streams, you cover a lot of topics, and I don't remember all of it, you know. But I'm taking on two battles at the moment. I'm doing 2 battles at a time, and council tax is next. No one should be paying that, and no one should be paying income tax either. It's voluntary. So there's a lot of things for a lot of people to learn, and all of this information is becoming more and more available, you know, and tips and tricks on how to get to where you need to get to is becoming more and more available. So take advantage of that information, but it will take it, if you're a bit delicate, it will take its toll on you. So just do 2 at a time, get them out of the way. When you win, and you will, you'll have that extra bit of self-belief, strength, inner strength, and determination that you've been fucked. That'll make you angry. And if you're angry, generally speaking, you're going to be a lot more motivated to put this right, to set this straight. So Storm, stop, please. Yeah, so I hope all that made sense. They hyped the numbers of Jabbies, but did they? How do we know? You know, we know that they hyped the amount of people that had, you know, something. They hyped the amount of people that were positive for something that still to this day has not been proven to have ever existed. You know my stance on this. I've had the same stance from the start of this channel. I've said COVID never existed. You were fucking duped. You were shafted. You fell for a lie. You know. Again, some people might get offended by that, but it is what it is. I'm just being honest with you, right? There's been absolutely no evidence whatsoever. You still hear these people like, oh, so we've now narrowed it right down to the fact that it really did leak from a lab in Wuhan. It was the China virus, blah, blah, blah. No proof. Just people talking shit in echo chambers of other people talking shit. No critical thinking. They just think they're critical thinkers. But when in actual fact, they're just fucking idiots. You'll know if something's true. You'll know. You'll feel it. Don't underestimate your gut. Cat update. She's turned her back on me. Still sulking. Let her sulk. You're the boss. Edward Benays. Thank you, Lily. Yes. the father of propaganda, right? So they took what Edward Bernays. Oh, I love you, Lana. You're a fucking godsend. You're like a pretty Wikipedia walking on legs, but believable as opposed to Wikipedia. So they took what Edward Bernays did, and they just, what can we do with this? We've seen how powerful it is. We've seen all these people, all of these suckers. What else can we do with this? Because this shit works. And that's what they've done. That's what they've done. You know? They do it in adverts. They do it in films. They did it with the jabs. They did it with all these fake fucking people in China pretending to be dead. These people coming out of body bags that can unzip from the inside. Oh, it's hot in here. Let me just have a fag. Fuck me. How many more takes we got to do? 2. You pay me how much? That's good enough. Let me just smoke me fag and I'll get back in there. Back in the body bag, you know? And then going around and having film crews, like, just following people doing bullshit shit. You know? The human mind is it Harari that the human brain is hackable? It is if you allow it to be. A critical mind is unhackable. So hold on to that mind, you know, question everything, including me. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've just thanked Lana when it was Lily. So thank you, Lily. And Lana, you were right. You were. I knew it was Edward something, but I couldn't. I was thinking mayonnaise. And that obviously didn't work, you know. I know, Joanna. Most of us haven't been jabbed, but we have to also take into account that some of us have. You know, I haven't. My wife died of pure blood. My stepson is a pure blood. And I'm one of 6 siblings, and only one of our siblings got jabbed. So I've got a brother and 3 other sisters that are also pure bloods. And it does feel bad. I do feel bad from time to time calling myself a pure blood, because it makes me sound like I'm above you when I'm not, you know. Some people got shafted. Some people didn't know the law. Some people didn't stand in their own power. And I've got friends that are unbelievably switched on, that see it all now. There's a lot of regret out there. Just know that. I enjoy these lives. I love doing these lives. And I said 2 hours. We're coming up to 3 hours now. So I think if we take it to 3.5 hours, just so that it's just not too much because a lot of people, I have noticed that a lot of people do watch the lives after the lives are finished. I don't know why, because I don't think I'd get much out of a live that I've not been in watching, but that's me. But yeah, you know, hundreds of people will watch the lives when they've been done and dusted. But I've got to admit, I do feel more comfortable doing lives. I find it easier, and in many ways, I think it's a lot more practical. But I still have to do these little walk and talks now and then, because I'm an inclusive guy, but the right kind of inclusive, not this fucking right. We need to get no this white man with 30 years of experience of piloting a plane. Get rid of him. We need this black man with no arms. You know, this is you know, fuck me. What a crazy world we live in. You know, you couldn't make this shit up, but we have to laugh about it whilst we continue to prepare. And most of that preparation, I'm telling you, and I've been saying for years, it's up here. You've got to get yourself ready up here. If you're not ready up here, all of your physical preps, they're worth nothing really. You've got to be a package. It's got to be a package. It'll all make sense. If it doesn't already, I'm just saying. But yeah, I love doing lives. I would do a live every day, but I don't know if it would be appreciated. And I don't want to end up losing people that have been part of this from the start. It doesn't seem fair. It only existed on the telly. Yeah, it did. Yeah, going back to the the people with the hats and the beards and the toiling and the horses and that's it. Those people, yeah, it's gone. Yeah, they were asked, you know, how have you been dealing with COVID, aka COVID? Well, we don't have TVs, so none of us got affected. Exactly. Linz M. Hi, everyone. Hi, Linz. What's your thoughts on the push for smart meters in June? My thoughts are go fuck yourself. Because all you'd need to do, Linz, is try and find, and there are, if you go on Telegram, there's loads and loads of information. It's a wealth of information, right? All you need to do is find out lots and lots of information that other people have gone out there and found, and then condense it down and basically say to them, right, the level of EMFs that are coming off these smart meters are concerning. I would like to know who is held account, who will be held accountable for any illnesses that can be proven to be causes of illnesses from these EMFs. If you can tell me who's accountable, then I might consider having one. Nothing. I'm not going to have any. I'm not going to have one. And that's another thing. I get letters through from EMF. That's who I'm with, right? So I get letters through from EMF saying, well, we could actually reduce your bills down even further, Mr. Ryler, Mr. Ryler, blah, 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 blah. Fucking hell. Terry. Amish. Yes, thank you, Lana. But you might need to go onto a different plan. And I know what they mean by that different plan. Let's bring this smart meter in that's emitting shitloads of EMFs and could be remotely detonated and cause a house fire. That's just speculative, you understand, for legal reasons. So they can take their little smart meters that's not smart, and then they can plow it up their arse, and then they can come round here, and I'll get my fist ready to plow it even further up their arse to the point where it comes out of their fucking mouths. So you've got a choice. You have got a choice. You can either go in there armed with knowledge and various types of legislation that are there, that you've got to search for, because it's all buried. And they do say that the best way to learn is by doing your own research. And I found that. How many of you guys have tried to push information on people and they've just pushed back? Sometimes just planting a seed and saying that there's legislation out there and saying that who's accountable and responsible for any health matters that might become me as a result of all of this research that's been done based on EMFs and the damage that they can do to our cells. We are a mass of cells. That's what we are. So you can either do that or you can invest in a solar system and just get by. That's your choice. Me, I am prepared. I am prepared to go dark. I am prepared, and you know I am. I've not made any any claims that otherwise. But even if I wasn't prepared from a very crude solar setup at that, let me just add that. It's not integrated into the house. It's not all connected up like some people's, where if we end up with a solar flare or an EMP, that solar system's fucked. Bear that in mind. It can cope with blackouts. Blackouts, oh great, yeah. Oh, look at us, we've still got our lights on. We can still cook. We can still watch the TV. We can still play on the PlayStation when everyone else is in darkness and fumbling around with candles and torches. You'll be fucked if there's an EMP or a CME. So you can either go down that route of having an integrated solar system, which is a risk, or you can go down the crude route of setting everything up when it needs to be set up and know what you're doing. Or you can have a legal battle with them and just say, I don't want a smart meter. This is my reasons why. And might I just very politely say, get the fuck off my premises now before I remove you. Own it. Lead yourself. That's my answer to that question. So I hope that answers that question, Linz. For everyone, I myself won't be having one. Good. You don't need to. Nobody does. But it does help if you just try and throw yourself into some research and try and learn a bit about it and try and work out what is too high for the human body to be able to deal with without it being affecting you negatively, and then find out what the level is of a smart meter, put the two together, you've got a case. Very, very simple way of doing it, but it's just if you can be a little bit more in depth about it, it'll make you feel a lot more empowered when you're fighting back. That's all I'm saying. Refuse to be bullied. Absolutely. I plan on going off grid. Good, Lily. And I've got a rough idea that was where you're heading. And I know that you've got plans in place. And I have said to you, don't mention too much online. Just for you, They charge, right, so in Seattle they charge you more money for doing you more damage, allegedly. Well, it's not allegedly, it's a fact. Fuck them. That's like whoa, I was going to say that's madness, but it is madness. But it's like me going round to next door and saying, oh, Kev, hope you don't mind. I know this might sound a bit weird, but would you mind repeatedly kicking me in the balls while I pay you £1 for every kick? I'll give you £1 coin for every kick in the bollocks that you give me. That's like paying extra for a smart meter. What the fuck? Whoa. Good idea. Quoth, refusing to be bullied. No off-grid for me. Stand and fight. Either or. Either or. Because the either is no off-grid for you, right? Which is fighting. They're still fighting. Or stand and fight, which is fighting. Either way, you're a fighter. You have a smart meter and will charge you more. No brainer. Yeah, fucking mad. Yeah. So yeah, they're offering me a better tariff to knock a few quid off, just to radiate myself even more. I'm all right, thanks. Cheers for the offer, though. It's very kind. I told them to stop harassing me about smart meters, else I'd take them to court and bring Barry Trower with me. I've never heard of him, Lana. I'm assuming he's a Scottish warrior. But yeah, I'm sure they've heard of him. I'm sure they have. Is it smart to say no thanks? Yes, it is. You see, they've taken so many words and so many things, and they've made them like almost unpalatable to say. Like the whole rainbow thing. I used to love rainbows. I still do, because they're a wonder of nature, you know. But when you see these and NHS workers with these lanyards that have got the rainbow on there, I'm just thinking, you fucking moron. You know, why don't you stand up for yourself? Or are you not standing up for yourself because you just don't know? You're completely oblivious and therefore part of the problem. Inclusivity. I used to love that word. And this channel is very inclusive. But they've taken that word and made it a dirty, fucking, disgusting, warped, fucked up word. You know? But we can still, and smart. Yeah, that was the point I was trying to get to. So smart. The word smart, you know, it's like, he's a smart lad, you know? She's a smart girl. Which was a compliment, you know? Smart now. Just in case anyone didn't see that post, let me tell you what SMART stands for. Bear with me, this won't take long. Right. So SMART. And I believe this to be true, you know. I've not actually looked it up, but I've heard a few people say it, and they could have all got it from the same source, but I think it's unlikely. Bear with me, nearly there. SMART. S, self. M, monitoring. A, analysis. And R, reporting technology. SMART. SMART. Self-monitoring, analysis, and reporting technology. It's an illusion. And we're all carrying devices that are spying on every single thing we say and everything we do, you know. But I have had a good look, and I can't find anyone in this room that gives a fuck You know, they know where I've been. They know what I've said. They know what I'm doing. But I know Lana's not got a smartphone, and I've got some old Nokias upstairs, and I'm thinking of utilising one of them to do call-ins so I can have a chat with you guys. You know, have a separate phone number that I only turn on when we do call-ins. I don't know how that's going to work though, because everything will sound tinny your end because I can't get it to go through your speakers, because I don't know how to do all of that. But Lana might be able to help because she's very techie. Barry, right? So Ice been asking in the past, well harassed, I should say. Ice. So Barry Tower, a former Royal Navy micro. I know who he is. Yeah. Now I know who you're talking about. So so Barry to microwave weapons is like Dr. John Campbell to the medical profession. So Dr. John Campbell was probably responsible for a lot of people who weren't able to make their own fucking minds up, listening to him and getting jabbed, right? But he's turned that around and trying to do the right thing now, and then some. Barry took part in creating these fucking machines, these microwave machines that are using crowd control and weaponry up in satellites and smart meters and routers. The list goes on. And these towers that surrounding our towns and cities, he's responsible for being part of that to build up. And now he's saying, look, it's bad shit. You know what I mean? Does everyone get where I'm coming from with that? Has become a prominent voice in discussions. Yeah, because he's quite an elderly guy. Well, probably when I say elderly, in his kind of early 60s, something like that. I've seen a few interviews with him quite a while back as well. So I'm surprised that they were even circulating back then. Yeah, because if I remember right, Rod, let me just make sure that you've not written that down, just so that you know that I know. It was saying that they need to remove routers, just as bad, routers, Wi-Fi routers out of schools because it's affecting the eggs in developing ovaries in young girls in schools. You know, depopulation. That is the main agenda. Multi-pronged attack. Voice in discussions about, yeah, we'll just search for his name. Yeah, I know who he is, but I recommend if anyone's not heard of him, please look him up on Rumble, and it will just give you, if you've not heard of him, it will just give you another extra kind of layer of knowledge about all of this, which is only going to be good for you. It'll only benefit you, you know. Surveillance monitoring and reporting along those lines. Oh, did you get in there before I did, Lana? That doesn't surprise me. Because I reckon your typing fingers are so fast they're like a blur, you know? You don't even see your fingers. Like that. Just like a blur. Send. I'm not like that. In fact, I probably I type quicker than I read, which is, this channel is the epitome of inclusivity. Oh, I don't even know what epitome means, and I've got a half decent vocabulary. But I think that's a lovely compliment to everybody, because it's not me, you know. If it was just me, I'd just be talking to a screen. There wouldn't be 15 people watching me, and there wouldn't be hundreds of people watching the live stream after it's finished. It's everyone. We make this. We've made this, and it's took nearly 5 years of keeping it small and not exclusive in an ego way. Just, I said right from the, if any of you guys have been right from the start, you'll know, you'll watch videos where I said I didn't want to get past 1,000 subscribers. I said, when that happens, it's done. But I've had to try and make sure that we don't go over 2,000 subscribers, because we are, even if they're aware of this channel, because of everything that I say, and it all gets logged, and I get all that. I know that could be happening, but we don't pose a threat, you know? Whereas if you've got a channel with over like 100,000 subscribers or something, you're reaching a lot of people out there. And whereas with this, it's done more subtly. So we share information and we connect with each other. We bounce off each other. I get information from you and learn stuff from you. You learn maybe some stuff from me. And but then it kind of, there's that ripple effect that goes out, you know, almost undetected, quietly. Whereas if you've got a channel with 100,000 subscribers, you're making too much noise, which is why I fucking swear so fucking much, because the algorithms hate it, and they hate smokers. Look it up. If you met me in person, I hardly ever swear, you know? It fucks me off. I fucking hate swearers. Where are we? I do have a smartphone, but but just use it for photos, rest of stuff. Yeah, they are useful things to have. And I have got, have you checked to see if that Faraday right. So Lana, I've got a question for you, because I've been looking at Faraday pouches, right? I've got the Faraday thing going on elsewhere, right? But as far as trying to protect stuff and prevent stuff from listening to me, I don't know if any of these Faraday pouches and stuff that you see on eBay and Amazon and that actually work, right? Because, you know, when we were being warned about this this incoming alert thing, I didn't get it, because I used one phone to phone my smartphone, right? From putting my smartphone in the microwave, my phone rang from the microwave. So imagine how many microwaves are coming out of your microwave, which is why my microwave is now in the loft, unused, right? There's one point. My second point is that I had to wrap that smartphone in 7 layers, separate layers of foil, aluminium foil, before it wouldn't take a call. It wouldn't receive a call. Nothing. 7 layers. So, Lana, have you checked out how good your Faraday pouch is? And if it works, can you send me a link via email, if you don't mind? But I've got a feeling that it won't work. Let me know. Where were we? So for 2G, 2 tin cans joined by a length of string. The way forward. It works. It does work because it's all about vibrations, you know. Yeah, router Wi-Fi is bad for us, and best to hardwire LAN. Everything via Ethernet cable. I totally agree. But the actual router itself is still kicking it out, even though you can get these Faraday cages that go over the top. They don't work, you know. And then you've got next door's router kicking into your house. You've got this side, their router kicking into your house, you know. I mean, surely there must be some sort of, if someone, right, so for example, if next door had their car parked on their driveway and they connected a hose from their exhaust pipe with the car running, connected that hose up, and then put that hose through your letterbox to pump your house full of toxic gas, that would be an arrestable offence. But they're doing that with their Wi-Fi. So if anyone can find out what law, because I don't know, I've only just thought about it, but it's the same thing. Their shit is poisoning me. Their shit is poisoning me. I have heard of Rumble, but don't understand it. Any help, please? It's pretty straightforward, Joanna. And I've got an account on there, but I've not been posting much on there. There's a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to post. What I've just posted in the community tab, I was going to post on there because I think it's a bit too tasty for YouTube. But Rumble's all about videos. So I can't put it on there because it's just and I can't post it on X because it's just too much. It says there's too much there, and I didn't want to chop it down because the post in its entirety is fucking mind-blowing. Terry, you don't need an ego. You stand tall enough on your own. That's a beautiful thing to say, Joanna. Thank you very much. Doesn't always feel like that, but we keep ourselves in check by having brutal inner critics. Yes, they do, and I'll say, hey, if it works, just send me a link. If it works and you've tried ringing your phone whilst that smartphone has been in that Faraday pouch and it's worked, then yeah, I can breathe a sigh of relief, because we need to know that shit's working. And I've just told you that putting your smartphone in a microwave will not stop the signal. So that makes you wonder, how many microwaves are coming out of my microwave at me if it's not that contained. Yeah, just let me know, Lana. Email me, sweetheart. I'd really appreciate that. Rumble is just like a version. It is like YouTube, yeah. But you'd be surprised at how many people have never heard of Rumble. And I have gone through that. This is what we're up against moment from time to time, thinking, fuck me, fucking hell. But then I think it is what it is, They might not know now, but they will once you've mentioned it to them, and curiosity might peak, and they might go and have a look, because there's a lot of information over there. Rumble is not at the moment affected. But then it could be another data harvesting station. We just don't know whether it is or whether it's not. We just carry on regardless. Does copper work better than aluminium? Well, the problem you've got there is that you're going to need the only way to tell is by buying sheets of copper, which you can't buy. So there's no way of enveloping your phone in copper because there aren't any products out there that do that. But copper, again, I'd strongly recommend that you buy copper bullion, just blocks of copper if you can afford it, because it won't depreciate and it'll always be useful. But from a practical standpoint, trying to see if copper will block out signals it's not practical because there's nothing designed, there's nothing out there that copper tape does exist. You could make your own little Faraday cage, but then copper's like proper highly conductive and that could fry. I don't know. I've not really thought about that. I've never thrown copper into. I've pushed it as far as panware and garden utilities and knives, forks, and spoons made of copper. Copper. You are electricity. Just know that. Just remember that. You're electrical. So if you've got a bit more copper in you, it makes you more conductive. So in theory, your brain will work better. And then you throw a little bit of lion's mane and black pepper in there. Fuck me. Just the whole fucking world full of Einsteins. Nah, fuck Einstein. Teslas. Nikola Teslas. Who cared? I have used a tri-field meter in front of a working microwave, and when you get to 2 feet away, the sirens on the meter go off. 2 feet away. And how many lazy bastard fucking people out there who can't be asked to put a proper home-cooked meal together? I love cooking. I find cooking extremely therapeutic, and I'm good at it, So how many people do you think are out there that are so hungry? They're hungry, they're knackered, they're bored, and they just sit there with their elbows like that, just watching their little plastic poisoning tub go round and round and round on the plate, getting zapped, getting cooked whilst they're waiting for the food to be cooked. You couldn't make this shit up. We've all got a lot to learn, Joanna. Myself, Lana, Maria, everyone. We never stop learning. Never. And we're all now at an age where our brains are fully developed. So whatever goes in there now should be solid. Right, we've gone past the 3.5. We've gone an hour and a half past the 2 hour thing. And I don't like cutting it, but I just think because it's what I call a school night. I know people have got work in the morning, and I don't want to go past it's 10 to 1. I had no idea it was that late. This is what happens when we get flow. So just to be fair on everyone else, we're going to draw this down to a close now because Yeah. So never stand watching microwave turn. Peeps. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. It's common sense. Just don't get close to your microwave. In fact, fuck your microwave off. Get rid of it. Or maybe just put it into storage, because it doesn't actually use that much energy, really. But then you can get convection hobs. They use slightly less than a microwave does. If you need to cook and you've not got access to like raw materials to make a proper fire underneath your Kelly kettle or any other rocket stove, homemade rocket stove, you're better off getting I've got a few in the loft there that are there ready to run off a solar system in case I can't get hold of wood in an emergency and I need to cook. Sometimes you need to make stuff hot to kill anything that's in there that might damage you if you can't get access to a hospital. Again, I understand how apocalyptic that might sound, but I am an apocalyptic man. I'm a survivalist. I'll do whatever it takes to survive, as long as it doesn't mean harming good people. It is possible to find that balance. We've got to find that balance. You can be a survivor without being a complete and total horrible person. I'm driving home now in rain. I love the sound of rain on a car. I love the sound of rain on an awning, on my kitchen roof extension, on the caravan, on a tent. I love the sound of rain. I just don't like being in it, Lily, we're going to draw this to a close, sweetheart, but I hope you've not had too tough a day at work. I hope it's been positive. I hope you've managed to navigate yourself around lots of people that aren't like you, and we'll draw this to a lovely positive close. And it's been lovely, and I really do appreciate all of you guys investing your time in joining us and being as one. It means a lot to me, and it means. So on that note, on that very, very positive note, much love to you all, and ciao for now.